Okay. All right. I think that would irritate. All right.
Hey Tom, do you want to light up this Bradley plumbing that we?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's the deal. They from what Choice said, Choice Warranty, that Bradley Plumbing signed the contract that they would accept paper checks. Now Bradley is saying they won't accept paper checks, and so they're billing. They're putting a lien on the customer's house to $2,500 because Choice is not paying them. But Choice said we'll send you a paper check, and Bradley's saying,
Can we get Choice on?
What?
Can we get Choice on? Tell him that this is a really popular show. We get a lot of people wanting to know, and if they give a shit about their warranty, they'll come on. Because actually we'll be on their side.
Yeah, Choice said they'll pay. They just won't pay the $2,500.
I get it. Charge $2,500 lawyer fees 2 weeks after the job.
Right.
Well, the point is, though, they never refused to pay.
They didn't even. They thought the consumer thought the warranty was going to pay, and
well, what's their side of it, Doc?
Who's side?
No,
The company's
I'll
side.
recap it, but Choice Home Warranty never refused to pay.
Right.
They said, we'll mail you a check. No, you have to go online and pay, the plumber said. They said, our contract says we pay in check. You signed a contract with us to be our plumber. They said, fuck you, and they go after the homeowner.
2 weeks, $2,500.
Think of that. And they all agree that that's the case. Even Bradley Plumbing admitted that. So what they're doing is going after the consumer.
Yeah.
Well, we should go after.
Did you get the official?
That's what we want to do.
Now that's the only one we use. They said delete the others. They want to hear the station voice.
And I told Doc, I'll bet you that money does not go to lawyers. I bet you that goes in their pocket.
Probably.
Who knows? You're right. It could be. That could be that that's what they're doing, just to raise some more money.
They filed an intent to lien, and they said if they don't get the money 24 hours,
Right. We are
going to put a lien on the property.
Live audio.
Paul, we are on. Paul, even when we're off, we're on. We're streaming. Just beware of that.
Yep.
So,
Remember, this is a very woke crew.
yeah, we are.
Tom especially.
Yeah. I'm well known for that. There's a new expression, guys. I swear to God, and I actually understand it. There's a new expression. Microaggression.
Oh yeah, no, that's been around for a while. Where have you
Wait
been?
a minute. Microaggression?
Yeah.
What? Give me an example of microaggression. I'll give you one. Give me an.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a really good example, but it's a little thing that someone might say that it just kind of irritates somebody because of they look at it as a.
I'll give you one.
Thing.
I'll give you one. And I hear this all the time. What are you, gay?
Oh, that's macro aggression.
Well, no, that's what it means is okay. Or you say something like, oh, just something joking. Oh, you have a wife. I thought you were gay.
Right.
That. Or I'll tell you the worst. You say something like, oh yeah, white trash. Why? White trash is actually microaggression against blacks because people. Wow. A lot of people say, I've heard this. Oh yeah, there's a lot of blacks and white trash there. They're equating that you can't be a black without being equivalent to white trash. I hear that all the time.
So you should say black trash and white
but this is actually one of the expressions I agree with, macroaggression. That's actually more of a problem than out and out rape because people say things sometimes and they don't even understand what they're saying when they say, I'm going to Jew you down.
Right.
That's a microaggression.
No, that's macro.
Well, okay. Well, I call it micro because people don't think much of it, right?
Well,
Like that they do. Fuck yeah.
No, okay, you'd be surprised. Okay, go Dutch.
That's micro.
Okay, but
I've never met anybody that.
There are a lot of little things, though. But I do notice there are a lot of little things, like you throw like a girl. I mean, obviously, there's a difference between men and women's strength. By the way, the thing about the sports, that to me, you know what? I'm all for. I don't care if somebody wants to be a man or a woman, but if they don't turn physically weaker, though, I think it's going to make it unfair for women.
It already has. Look at those girls in Connecticut, and look at that weightlifter now that's going to be in the Olympics.
That's what I heard I heard one time that there was a guy ranked 30th or 40th in the world in tennis beat the shit out of Serena Williams. Or
Almost
Yeah.
any college
Oh,
player
right.
at level can beat the shit out.
34, I think it was like 100.
Yeah.
So now that's just common sense, though, isn't it?
Right.
Isn't that common sense?
That's the dying commodity. It no longer exists.
Do you know what happened?
What?
Common sense.
No, but I know exactly what people are saying about there should not be any hostility. I get that, but
What do you
Trump.
mean hostility?
Well, okay. In other words, they're saying that it's a prejudice or bias or what is the word I want for when you're against a transgender? It's
Sexist?
no, whatever it is, they're saying it's unfair. But I don't think when it comes to athletics, it's unfair.
course
If you
not.
truly are 100% male DNA, you can be a woman all you want. I don't care. I really don't care. But I think when it comes to the athletics, it doesn't have anything to do with hate. It has to do with strength. You just
Just how you're built. Women and men are built different.
No matter what.
That's right.
Well, here's the thing that drives me crazy. How old is your daughter?
Okay.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, welcome to the show. We're here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. I'm instituting something new on the show. Show me trouble. You know, often we want photographs and video and pics, whatever you call photographs. Really an old expression, kind of like saying a press conference from the days of pressing the newspapers, right? Well, anyway, what we want.
Well, remember Warner Wolf used to say, let's go to the videotape?
Yeah.
Nobody uses videotape anymore.
You know, let's go to the video. Let's go. But when we say, anyway, pictures or pics, and we want video, and we want any kind of evidence, an audio recording, whatever, we're instituting something new here. And what I want you to do is, if it is visual, I want you to post it. Now, I can thank John Little for this idea. He's my creative director when it comes to all things social. He's a genius. And I just established, and I think, John, if you're listening, would you please message me? Anyway, I created an account on Instagram called Show Me Trouble. And it should be there right now. Show Me Trouble. And what I'd like people to do, and when they call us, we're going to tell them to do it. You're going to tag us, that account, directly in Instagram. Then I can see it. Anyone else can see it if you choose to let everyone see it. So it's right there now, and it's going to be used to list trouble. If it's a bad deck, a bad roof, a bad room addition, something bad, let's show it on social. Then we can look at it and evaluate it. And, of course, we're still going to send our experts out to look around and to see what's going on. I'm Tom Martino, by the way, and this show, this hour, brought to you by Real CBD that works.com. Now, Real CBD is truly Panacea Life Sciences, Real CBD. Now, they make pet products, and to introduce you to the pet products, what they are doing is giving 40% off. In order for you to get 40% off pet products, now this helps anxiety, like even thunder and lightning anxiety, or pain or inflammation, great for old dogs with arthritis. Here it is, realcbdthatworks.com. Use this code, this promo code, all caps, to get 40% off your pet stuff. That's for horses and pets. Ready? Pet Love 40, caps. Pet Love 40. Pet Love 40. Also, Suze, let's have our job fair, an informal job fair. I said we're going to do it, and I'm going to start out by saying that there is a great job with Panacea Life Sciences right now open. Jobs, just being at their kiosks. It's a pleasant job. Maybe you're retired, you want part-time or full-time work. Whatever it is, if you want, we are doing this as a service. Anyone who needs help, call us, and we will put it out there. So, for Panacea Life Sciences, you can make really good money, and it's at DIA or at Cherry Creek Mall or at Park Meadows Mall, all you have to do is staff a kiosk for CBD products. So if you want the job, you email human resources at panacealife.com. Human resources at panacealife.com. So, Suze, like we said, we're going to do this informally. I told people I don't like a lot of times when people call and say we have jobs, but today we're going to actually concentrate on it. So if you have work available, call us. If you need work and you have a certain skill, call us. We have also with us Paul the Waterman from, and Paul, by the way, Water Pros, I don't know what to say. The best at the lowest prices. But Paul, before we get into all that, do you need any work, any employees?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for an installer and service tech.
Okay, and you already have your master plumbers and your plumbers, right? So they don't have to be a plumber, but they can learn.
They can learn, and then we'll give them a plumber's apprenticeship.
Oh, that's cool. So a plumber's apprenticeship, you learn on the job, and you go out and help out at Water Pros, and you guys install water conditioning and water filtration. And pull that mic close to you. I want you to get this close when you talk, and you don't have to move to it. That'll move anywhere you want.
Okay.
Okay. So, how many openings do you have?
I have 2 openings right now.
That's great. 2 openings. And if you're interested, waterpros.net. Can they contact you on that?
Yep, they can contact us through the website.
All right, waterpros.net. Now, Bruce, what's going on in your life, Bruce?
So, I worked at Home Depot stores up at 80th and Wadsworth.
Okay.
I had the dates here, January through December. And I've not seen a W-2 form from them. I've gone in several times in person. They give me the information supposedly to log on to their computer system.
You know, that's odd. You should have gotten that by now.
Yeah, well, it gets even better.
What?
When I was hired, apparently they had problems with their computer to begin with, and the passcodes and everything that I was given to log in weren't working. So the manager apparently made something special for me, and then it worked. And ever since then, the original codes don't work. I went back 3 times and in person asked one of their department managers to use their information to log into their computers and couldn't do it.
All right, Bruce, here's the good news and the bad news. The good news is this doesn't affect you a lick as far as filing your taxes. The IRS says you file without your W-2, and you note in there that business did not deliver and cannot deliver W-2, and you estimate everything. I know it's crazy.
It's a Form 4852. You basically fill in the numbers from your last pay stub.
Thank you, Mark. Say that again, Mark. Mark, what is it?
48. It's the IRS Form 4852. If you don't have a W-2, you just fill that out using the numbers on your last pay stub, your year-to-date.
Do you have a pay stub, the last pay stub?
No.
Well, then get the numbers from Home Depot. I mean, there's got to be a way you know how much you got paid, man.
Do that. They won't even do that for me.
But Bruce, can I ask why you don't have your pay stub out of curiosity?
Because it was direct deposit.
Okay, then your bank
paperwork whatsoever.
Okay, isn't there a record at the bank with? Well, actually, that's a good point. With direct deposit, they don't break it down, do they?
No.
No, that's what I'm getting at. I've got numbers that say I made approximately $6,000 from June to December.
Then use that.
But he has to put down approximate withdrawals and stuff, and withheld. It is difficult.
Exactly.
Hey, Bruce, I understand the difficulty. They say you're supposed to estimate, and I know what you're saying. It's difficult because you have nothing to go by. Here's what I want to do. I want to check with Larson Tax Relief because, and I want to see if they have any special ideas, but we also have an angel at Home Depot, right, Suze? And now that Suze is here, back from a few days off with Mark, she can go into our angels list. Deputy Dan was filling in, had problems getting into that angels list. They don't let devils in the angels list, maybe. I don't know what it is, but yes, sir.
So if she's connections with Home Depot,
yes.
The Home Depot store contacted the main office in Atlanta. They took my information, had an incorrect address. I corrected them in person on the phone.
We'll get it done, Bruce. You sound frustrated.
Well, I'd like to get my taxes filed, yeah.
Okay, sir. Now listen, let's see what we can do for you. You called the Troubleshooter Show. Let's see what we can do for you. Hold on, make sure we have all your information, okay?
I'm here.
All right, man. Hey, by the way, where are you working now, Bruce?
I work for Done Right Windows and Doors.
Oh, that's a good company. You like it?
Yeah, they're a really good, respectable company.
Good.
They're taking steps to help people during the pandemic. Home Depot has not done that, so get my information.
All right, sir. All right. Bruce is not one for small talk. He wants his paycheck. No, he wants his info. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Hey, Mark, what's going on with you and this apartment complex, Mark?
Yeah, hey, Tom. I really need your help.
Yeah.
I'm calling on behalf of my niece who's really scared about what happened. So background story is she lives in Colorado Springs, nice part in an apartment complex. About 3 months ago, she was driving through the complex. She got caught in a shootout with some drug gangs. Some of the people in the shooting live in the complex. The police came.
Now, wait a minute. Can you go? This is a really big thing you just said. She got caught in a shootout. I need to know a little more. Hold on. I want to hear the story, and we'll try to help out. I'm Tom Martino.
Right now, Tom, I want you to know I'm your #1 follower on Show Me Trouble. I just logged on to your Instagram site.
Oh, you're the first one?
I'm the first one. So I can have
We're going to throw it. Did you get those pictures on the
Superstart batteries? Lawn care. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Holy shit, man.
Okay.
Did you see that fucking condo?
1 second.
Which condo? What's up?
Blake Harris Law for your estate planning needs. Blake Harris is the guy to go to. He's our expert on the air we use. I want to tell you, Blake Harris is getting a lot of action with his article he wrote on the 10 biggest mistakes in estate planning. I can tell from the downloads and the searches. And you can go to 303consumer.com and get that article. That's the digital magazine. There's also a print copy. Now, Blake Harris does wills, trusts. He can help you avoid probate. He can do powers of attorney, medical directives. He can do beneficiaries' deeds. His website is BlakeHarrisLaw.com. Now, you may have known him as MileHighStatePlanning.com. Now, BlakeHarrisLaw.com. And you can call him at any time as well for help. Ask him questions, no charge. He only charges for what he actually does, and he charges flat rates. 833-ASK-BLAKE. Did you have something to say about Blake? Okay, so we have BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE.
All right, check it out. A company that not only delivers great service all the time, but these guys also deliver great pricing. If you need a new air conditioner, here's what they're doing right now. A new AC, a new furnace, a whole home humidifier, and 5 years no interest. It's hard to believe, but the guys at 888heating.com are doing it right now. Of course, prices start at that $8,500. It depends on how big your house is. Check them out. Great service company, great prices. 888heating.com and their phone number, 888-HEATING.
With all the recent huge changes in our economy, this is a
No, I was just getting ready. Did I throw you off there?
Oh, yeah, that's okay. Sometimes you like to talk about it.
Yeah.
What if you do, just do it. Don't
Yeah,
mortgage refinance. Hey, it's
So is this condo, is this at Danny?
It's fucking bad, dude.
Is it Danny or what?
Oh, no, I'm
I got
sorry.
this lawn stuff.
No. The condo is in Miami, and it fucking collapsed.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's a shitload of people missing.
I thought they said
The fucking condo collapsed. 50 missing.
Wow, really?
That's what I don't understand. How does it literally just collapse?
I saw it. I couldn't believe it.
I mean, there's going to be more than 50. There's half the fucking building's gone.
Yeah, it looks like a bomb. You think it's just maybe too much rain and it loaded?
Fuck, I've never seen anything. Look at this picture, Dad.
Oh, wow, that really did fuck.
It looks like a fucking
Well,
bomb.
that was all part of that one right there, this condo right there.
That's it. That's part of the building.
And just one part of the building. Wow, I don't see how that could have.
I have no idea how that would do.
Because it didn't like a
12-story.
You know, in Florida they got sinkholes, but it doesn't look like it went in a sinkhole.
It's crazy.
The foundation could have been weakened by a lot of rain, weakening the underlying limestone.
It's almost like, remember when the towers went down, how one at a time, just like that.
Kind of reminds me of that Oklahoma City bombing, how that building, just like that.
Looked like that.
Yep.
God.
It's just like sheared it.
How does that work with homeowners? And I'm not shitting that. So your fucking condo's gone. How does that work? I mean, do they only pay for what's inside? Does the HOA pay for the rest?
When you have a condo,
it's from the walls in.
Right.
So you're fucked, in other words. They'll give you money for your couch, and you're fucked.
Wait.
Like renter's insurance?
You know what? No, you have to have enough to cover the mortgage. So we need to work in Compass when we get a chance as well. Compass and also.
I've always said that, like in California, these homes on the cliff, and then all of a sudden there is no cliff and the home's gone.
Yeah.
Where's your property? They don't reimburse you for the property.
If you live in Colorado,
Well, they was any different than a fire?
No, you lost the property.
A fire, you rebuild on your property. This condo, your floor 4 is gone.
But you built somewhere else.
I don't know.
You get the value of the condo just if there's been a fire.
I don't know if you get the value of the condo.
Well,
The law is like that. That's a catastrophic loss. You insure catastrophic loss.
You do insure at least the lender. So I don't know actually really, but yet you do have drywall.
If all they cover is drywall in, you don't have a fucking roof. You don't have siding. You have nothing. You don't even have a fucking floor anymore.
Like I said, condo fee.
The HOA must have insurance to rebuild the whole thing.
Just like a roof.
But that may take a special assessment too.
But yeah, the cost of the condo.
Hi, I'm Tom
Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Don't forget Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank will do a market analysis of your home. It's a complete valuation and analysis. Now, that is based on real life statistics and market. So don't mistake it for Zillow. Don't mistake it for even an appraisal. Homes are going now for more than appraisal. He can tell you based on his experience, 26 years, what your house will likely go for, and there is no obligation. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. So Mark says, this is crazy. He says his niece lives in Colorado Springs, was caught in a shootout. Now, what exactly do you mean, Mark? She's on her way home or on her way out?
She was on her way home to the apartment complex she lives in, and there was 2 cars, and they started shooting at each other in the parking lot of the apartment complex, and she was driving in between, and therefore kind of caught in the middle. Now, some of these...
Did she drive in between while they were shooting, or did they start shooting? How'd that happen?
She was driving, and then when she heard the shot, she kind of stopped her car and then just kind of hid below and got out of her car and tried to run off.
Is she okay?
Yeah, well, physically, yes. She's struggling with the emotional part of it.
Yeah. Okay. So what? First and foremost, I like to get right to the heart of a matter. First and foremost, if she's struggling emotionally and she has severe emotional trauma and damage, that apartment complex isn't responsible to her, okay? Because they're not part of this. Unless one of them was an employee or they had a sign up saying, "We welcome gunfights." I mean, they really basically are not going to be responsible, okay? So, I mean, you might find someone who argues with that, but bottom line, I wouldn't waste my time. However, that doesn't mean they shouldn't take steps after this. So what's going on now? Is she okay as far as physically?
Yeah, she's okay physically, but I will say this. One of the property managers, the rental people that work there, what happened was they were renting out units 2 known drug gangs. They were doing background checks on people that could pass, not having them live in, and then move those people into, their friends into this complex.
How do you know that?
She was fired.
So you're still trying to make a case that they're responsible for this?
Well, they came to. So here's what happened: is that they've been trying to work with my niece. She basically, the police said you're marked because they know where you live in the complex, and so she hasn't been there. And the management said, "Hey, we're going to help you out, find you a new place, different building. You're one of the."
Now wait a minute. Why is she marked? Were those 2 people arrested?
Some were and some weren't. Some are still out there, and the police want her to testify. And basically, because
okay. So she's in deep.
Well, just for being a witness, yeah.
Okay, but
exactly.
But Mark, honest to God, as much as I really want to help, this is not an apartment complex problem. It really isn't. I know. You're making the case they shouldn't have rented to these people, and now as a result, she's marked. She can't live there. She needs to move. Well, maybe that's true, and I do believe they should help her out of common decency get out of the lease or anything like that. But what do you want them to do? And I don't want you to do it. I don't want you to say something based on whether you think I agree. I want to know, when you originally called, if you could have us wave a magic wand, what do you feel they should do? And again, you don't have to have me agree with you. I want to know what you're thinking.
She got a phone call yesterday from the management that they want $3,200 in late rent and the place to be empty by Saturday.
Hold on a sec. Wait, Mark Hoy, when did this shooting take place?
About 3 months ago.
Okay. Has she not paid rent since then?
She hasn't been back to her place. The management was telling her, we will get you into another building. And when I mean building, another complex outside of that complex.
But wait a minute, get an eviction on her record, and Mark, she's not going to be able to get a place.
Mark, why? Okay, I can't. They want to be paid rent. I get it. Now, maybe she should have terminated the lease earlier or something, but she had all her stuff in the place, and she didn't move out. She didn't terminate her lease. She simply did not go back there. By the way, I get that, okay? I get that. But why do you think it's wrong that they want her out of there?
I don't think it's wrong to want her out of there, but I think because one of their employees at the complex was knowingly renting to these folks that...
Mark, so what you're saying is they should waive the rent?
Yeah.
They're not going to do that.
They're not going to do it, man. I mean, she could have terminated the lease possibly. And you keep saying they knowingly rented to gang members. What does that mean exactly? They wanted gang members there. That was their desire. And they were purposely turning down other people, you said, and going for the criminal element.
Supposedly, one of the rental folks there that did the rentals would not do background checks. They're supposed to do background checks.
Okay, so they don't have to. There's no law that says they have to.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you that, they basically, the complex said they were going to work with her, find her a new place.
Okay, now we're going back to that. So hold on. First we go, and I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm trying to find a shred of something I can use to help you. The first thing was they weren't good in their screening, and it caused a dangerous environment. By the way, that's not a bad thing to pursue after all this is over, okay? That it was their fault. But you have a hell of a lot of proof to come up with. Now, the next thing you're with is they were working with her. But no matter what, she had an existing contract. She had an apartment. And if she did not want to go back there, she should have wrote them a note saying, I'm terminating my lease because of the danger or whatever. And I think she may have gotten an eviction, a constructive eviction on her own had she done it properly. But to just not go back there for 3 months, what do you mean? What was she doing? What was she waiting for?
She was in contact on a regular basis with the management.
And what were they saying they were going to do?
They were saying, don't worry about it. We are going to find you another place to live. We're going to get you another place.
So when they said don't worry about it, she took that as approval not to pay rent.
Because she wasn't living there.
Okay. Well, okay. I don't know how. I don't know. I mean, we're going to call him. We're going to call him.
She was 100% paid up, nothing late at all prior to this happening?
Yes. I mean, she's listening right now.
Good. Can I talk to her? Can I talk to her? Because we do want to help her, Mark. It sounds like I don't want to help when I talk to people sometimes because I'm trying to do what everyone else will do to you when you call and talk to them. And you need to know how to get an argument for your favor. But right now, it simply sounds like I get her being afraid. And she should have notified them almost immediately. I don't think I can come back and live there. And if they say, don't worry, we'll find you a place, what does that mean? Okay, do I have to pay rent or not? I mean, to leave it hazy, if you go by the strict black and white of this matter, you have a contract. And she breached the contract by not paying rent. Now they want her out of there. So they're going to have to do a regular eviction, or she moves voluntarily. But I don't see any way around this. I don't know if they're going to pursue the money. I don't mind calling these folks right this minute. But what do we say to them? That she wants to move and she's asking that you waive the rent because you couldn't find her another place? Is that what we're going to ask her? Ask them. Is that what? Yes. Should we say that? Yes. Listen, this woman was waiting for you to get her into another place. And now all of a sudden you're popping her with 3 months rent. She doesn't feel she should have to pay because she didn't want to go back to that same apartment. How did they know what apartment she lived in?
Yes, some of the people lived in the complex. Yes.
Did they know the exact apartment she lived in?
Yes.
Okay. So, Deputy Doc, do you mind giving a call to that management company? You heard his argument. Yeah. Let's make the argument. Let's see what happens.
Okay, you know, they do have a case, some like with domestic violence, this happens sometimes. But at the same time, it's almost like they were thinking, hey, you know what, I'm not going to pay rent. I mean, if it's true.
No.
It was not true.
That she wasn't late prior to the incident. That was a hell of a pause.
Traffic center south on I-25, we're riding the brakes from I-70 through downtown. North on I-25 slows from 7 to 6. I-70 is clear out.
What do you think, Paul?
I-270 still heavy.
I think the police report
City.
But I can see her not wanting to go back.
That's what I'm saying.
But does that mean she is immediately... Did you see I want to get Compass and Larson when you get a chance? Suze, when you get a chance.
She left it very loosey-goosey. I mean, the police report, if they told her that she was basically had a mark on her forehead, I could understand. But not want to go back. But again, you got to...
I'll give you a spot in 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds.
Together.
So many people are selling gold and silver and platinum and whatever other metals are precious. I don't know, but if you have old jewelry, coin collections, maybe, you know, tangled up messes in a drawer, or maybe even it's not. But David Ellis Jewelers, DavidEllisJewelry.com, he'll buy your precious metals. Now, he's not interested in the jewelry itself. Okay, so if you have jewelry that you think has estate value, this is not the game. Right here, he wants precious metals, but he'll give you good, fair prices and a quick check. David Ellis Jewelry. Now, it's not that he won't take a look at your estate jewelry, possibly, but this is for gold and silver mainly, and platinum. David Ellis is at 3rd and Clayton. He's been there for 40 years, or been in Denver 40 years. Now, you can call 303-386-8800. 322-8779 for details, or stop by 3rd and Clayton with your old jewelry or coin collections or watches or whatever you have. That's David Ellis Jewelry. People who want to do their kitchens often just need countertops, or countertops are the highlight. If you need countertops, please contact theartofgranite.com. Mitch Floria is a friend of mine. Mitch Floria is honorable, will give you prices on the phone that are pretty damn close. I mean, within a few bucks here and there. Here's how he does it. Tear out and haul away is free. He doesn't have to include that. The bathroom's free when you do the kitchen. All materials are wholesale. So he charges you fabrication and installation. Get your price on the phone. Theartofgranite.com, 303-386-5919.
If you are looking for an affordable vehicle or you just want to trade your car in, make sure you check out the Sharpie side of Maplewood. Their lot is full of cars, SUVs, trucks, luxury rides, you name it. What you're looking for, you'll find at the Sharpie side. Whether you have good credit or bad credit, they're there for you. Check out the Sharpie side in Maplewood today.
Retirement is the biggest investment you'll ever make. So choosing the right financial planning partner is the important position.
Someone's asking your Instagram account, Tom. What is it?
Oh, it's at Show Me Trouble.
Larson did not know the answer to that question, so I put one. So I just came with my Home Depot people and for that guy.
Yeah, I wanted to ask him in general about W-2s, like estimating and stuff, but...
Oh, I can tell him that. I didn't realize that.
No. Here's the deal. I just wanted to do some, but it doesn't matter. Don't do it now.
Oh, he's coming on the show next week. They're in for the show next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Compass now.
I was just going to ask her. I texted him, but I didn't know what you wanted him for.
I want to ask him about condo insurance with this flat building. We just want to talk. It's nothing they won't know. We're just asking general.
General condo insurance question?
Yes, on total loss.
So if the police scare this girl, right? If the police tell her and scare the hell out of her, she doesn't want to go back home, and the condo the management company knows what's going on, then why didn't they work to get her a different place immediately? Why did they let this?
Because
that's true.
They're leaving a shitload out. That's why.
Well, I mean, it just makes no sense.
Mark suspects this is an excuse and she's been late anyway.
It doesn't even matter if it's an excuse. I put myself, I'm the landlord. Something goes down like this, I don't get paid. What the fuck's this?
I know.
Well, I mean, it's an incident where, through a shooting, it's going to scare the hell out of
There's
everybody.
victim advocates funds. There's all kinds of shit.
I mean, the city has to step in and help
Mark, this is unbelievable how this high-rise...
Do you look at it? It's
that's got to be a bomb.
It pancaked.
That's got to be a bomb.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think that would have been, there'd already be some shit out there about it. There'd be some talk of it. There's not even a whisper.
Water pressure. Is your water bill unexpectedly high? These are some
It's crazy, though. I wonder how old it is.
That's what I was wondering.
And I think a sinkhole could do it.
How close was it to the ocean?
It's just amazing because it looks like it just did this.
Just
pancake. So it's just like, it was like,
They're not saying
shit. It was just out of nowhere.
That's right. They got no of it happening.
Let me see.
It's quite a ways away here.
It was, Mark. It was.
Oh my God! It looks like when they implode something in an old casino.
Where'd you find it?
The video sent him that way.
Okay.
Where is that? Like a soccer field or something?
That's what it looks kind of like. Security camera or what?
Yes. It's like this, man. 1 second, next second.
That just doesn't happen. I mean, that's just crazy.
Maybe it is a bomb, but shit, you would think there'd be something.
Yeah, but Mark,
well, the guy
for
was
such a complete. Yeah, but one bomb wouldn't even do that, guys. One bomb wouldn't even do it. For such. This thing is more complete than if you had a controlled demo.
It looks just like the Oklahoma City bombing and how that building looked.
Yeah, but when you see this.
Oh, my God. And it didn't touch anything around it.
I know.
Were there people home?
Oh, yeah, I think there were people sleeping or in bed at that time.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
303. 713 Talk 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Listen, the high-rise condo that collapsed in Miami is chilling. I mean, what the hell went on there? We're investigating that. Of course, you know what I mean. We're looking into it. Because, I mean, think about this. What could cause such a whole and complete collapse? It's as if they did it by controlled means. You know how they sometimes do away with buildings with controlled blasts? That's what it looks like. You could almost not get as perfect as a pattern if you tried. What caused it? And it seems to have happened out of nowhere. And the scariest thing is a security camera caught it. I'm trying to find that video. Okay, but we're going to talk about insurance for condos and if it covers that kind of thing. And how does it cover it? Because with condos, you really only insure from the drywall in. 303-713-TALK. Let's talk to Chris. Chris, what's going on with you?
Hey, Tom. We were watching Channel 2 News the other night, and with all the catalytic converters being taken off cars and trucks, they had a recommendation to go underneath your car and scratch the last 8 of your VIN into the catalytic converter so it could be traced. But a second thing they said is go under there and paint them with orange paint. And I mean, I just get people out there know you don't want to go under a hot
Don't
car.
you think they could have been dissolved, or they could the paint? Don't you think they could just clean them up? I don't know. What do you think?
No, I would think so too. And I think catalytics are so hot, I don't think paint's going to stay on them anyway.
Why are they going after catalytic converters? Do they want the whole converter, or do they want something inside it?
They want the precious metals. There's platinum inside of them. If you tear them apart and grind them down and heat them, you get platinum out of them.
Really? So I guess David Ellis should be on the lookout for people coming in with catalytic converters. Seriously, there really is enough titanium to make it worth it?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of different metals inside of those things, and that honeycomb that burns
The older
off.
ones are worth, $300 to $500, man.
That's incredible. All right, well, I don't know what to do, and I don't know, like, under what circumstances they're stolen. Are they stolen when you're at a restaurant or a movie, or are they stolen overnight? Do we know?
I think people will just pull up alongside, and they'll get under there with a battery sawzall, and it doesn't take them 5 minutes, and they cut them completely out.
Really? Holy crap. I'd love to talk to someone who had it done, who was a victim of this. And again, that's a good question for insurance, too, on how that covers it. We're going to get Compass on to talk about a number of different issues. We have Paul the Waterman with us right now. And I always laud Paul on his spectacular pricing. There's way more to it than pricing. And maybe, Paul, you don't want me highlighting how inexpensive you are compared to the rest. But I can't help it. Years ago, and I know prices, by the way, have come down in the market in general, but not as low as you go for what you get. Years ago, I was doing a story for Channel 4, then later on for Fox 31. Same type of story. High-pressure sales, water treatment stuff. And these guys were selling systems for $6,500 and telling people they need the water conditioning, their pipes are going to rot away, and it's dangerous and all this. And I looked around now, and the cheapest one I could find was $4,000 some odd dollars with these major companies. So how can you, and I'm serious now when I ask this, how can you do it for under $2,000?
Because we deal directly with the manufacturer.
But don't most dealers?
No, most dealers are part of a franchise, and you're paying for the brand name. That's the big difference. You're paying, and everything is assembled here in the United States, right? So we know what the quality is. We put everything together at our office warehouse, so we know that when we install it, there's going to be no issues. But that's the biggest thing, is that we're an independent, and so that allows us to be more competitive, with our pricing, because you're not marketing a brand name. We're water pros.
Okay, you're water pros. So are the parts you buy generic?
No, they're not generic. Everything we use is manufactured from the Clack Corporation. It's out of Wisconsin. It's a family-owned business. It's over 50 years old. So we deal directly with the factory. We get all our products shipped to us from Utah, so it's, quick turnaround time. We have everything in warehouse.
Okay, all right. So it's cheaper because you have direct connections, and you do it quickly. You can get in and out, and you have whole house conditioning, whole house filtration, or point of use filtration, and something new, which is incredible, the mini conditioner, which you can take with you if you went to a condo. I mean, you could literally install this in a condo that you're renting if you wanted to.
Absolutely correct.
Okay, so we'll talk about that more coming up, waterpros.net. Now, is that okay, if anyone has a lead on catalytic converters, meaning people who've had some taken, or why are they taken, and where do they actually cash it in? Don't you think people would be on the lookout right now for catalytic converters? And maybe we ask David Ellis if, in fact, how the platinum is sold. Maybe he's heard of it. We ought to drop a dime on him, Suze, just for the heck of it. Ask David Ellis if he has heard of where these people sell the platinum from catalytic converters. Maybe he doesn't know, but maybe being in the precious metals business, he heard. Let's go to Brian Burns at Compass Insurance. Brian, we're going to be asking you a few questions. I don't want you to get into it now because I want to give you enough time, but here it is. First and foremost, catalytic converters. If it's stolen off my car, is that comprehensive?
Absolutely, and it's covered for sure, yes.
Have you had any claims?
We have.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
It's
a
thing.
I just talked to a company yesterday, and this company, I was talking to an underwriter a claim person yesterday at Auto Owners, one of the companies we write for. I think he said they've had 60 in the last couple months that have been stolen.
Holy crap.
Yep.
Is there a deductible with most comps?
Yes, there is. So whatever your comprehensive deductible, I would say minimum usually is $500. Some people have it lower, but it's average would be $500. Some have $1,000. So you're out some money for it. But yeah.
So if it's okay, do you know how much the claims usually are total?
I don't, honestly, and that's a great question. But he did. They're paying out on these, so it's obviously exceeding deductibles.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the condo collapsing and what happens, because you see, with a condo, you're insuring from the drywall in, and that certainly isn't going to be enough money to make you whole.
Tell your smart device to play 630 KL on iHeartRadio.
All right.
Then you can hear Russ Kaminsky in the morning, Dan Kaplis in the afternoon.
Where'd that go, damn it? By the way, I'm asking you this because Mike Doyle wants to know. Did you make K&H live for me, or was it as a live, or was it rec live? What was it?
I've never done anything.
No, okay, so it comes up as live, right? The K&H?
Yes, if I type it here, it is a memo spot, so it's live.
Good, great. That's all I need to know.
The recorded ones, I just didn't know what they were.
Okay, but Mike Doyle wants to know whenever we come across a rec live, he wants to know the time, and I'm going to take a picture of it, you said, and I'm going to send it to him. So if you see any rec lives, do them live, but he wants to describe it and get it done right. He's a man of action. I swear to God, of all the issues, when I go to him, it works. No, true is true.
Recipes you love, meet Cool Mint and world-famous soft serve, blended together in this chocolatey, minty masterpiece. Grab it today, only at your DQ. Happy tastes good.
You know, real estate is brisk right now, buying and selling. A lot of people are buying homes together, unmarried couples or friends, and here's the deal. You need a partnership agreement if you do that, or it can be a nightmare. O'Brien Legal Services is the law firm I recommend for all your real estate needs. Listen to me now. Don't do any real estate without talking to an attorney. None. Even a residential closing. Let him review the documents. A few $100s can save you thousands in trouble. O'Brien Legal Services. Or if you're having an issue, what about a lot line dispute, a survey issue? What about eminent domain? What about adverse possession? Whatever it is. O'Brien Legal Services. The website is OLS, it stands for O'Brien Legal Services. OLSlaw.com, 720-370-7388. 720-370-7388. If you're improving your home, you want a name you can trust. I'm telling you, about 37 years ago, K&H Windows did stuff for me on my home. They're now K&H Home Solutions. The original owner, I knew him well. I know the current owner. I know this company. They've been with me for nearly 40 years. You can trust them to honor their warranties, to give you the best products on the market. And when I say the best, I absolutely positively mean it. The Everlast siding is the best. Their windows are Energy Star rated 7 years straight, and you can't go wrong with their products. 303-421-7100. You can make your own appointment online, khwindows.com. If you're thinking of upgrading, you can't find anyone more dependable than 65 years in business, khwindows.com.
Attention timeshare owners. Did some high-pressure salesperson twist your arm into buying?
Frank was on yesterday, and he asked me
mentioned that the vacation times you want
Seinfeld
never be
trivia
available,
question.
or
I
that it
got
will
3
cost
hours
you more to
before.
use the timeshare than if you just
I'm gonna
booked
give it to you,
online as a
Mark.
night
Go ahead.
owner. I bet that
When
salesperson
Newman
Yes.
was to deliver
after year after year. They
oh,
misled you. It's not
what do you
right.
call
It's not your
little
fault. Whether you
Mexican
bought
meat pockets
decades ago
or
or days ago,
to
we can help.
Steinbrenner
Timeshare
and
Freedom Group's
George,
freedom process
because
has
George got
helped
kicked out of
thousands
the
people
place.
get out of
You mean,
unwanted
first of all,
The Calzone.
who the fuck doesn't know calzone? How does he not know calzone?
Hey, you thought loofah? What did you call loofah?
The little meat pies.
The little meat pies.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
You know that round thing with cheese?
What-
You know, the
what did you-
cheese pie.
What did you call loofah when Bill O'Reilly was out there? You called that falafel. So don't be giving me
He's
crap.
rubbing women down in the shower with his falafel.
So, one of the 4 things that Newman required is he was going to do the delivery of that.
And we do know that.
Well, he needs a cannoli of his own 3 times a
No,
week.
that's wrong. Okay, only 3 times a week.
He needs a large soda.
That's right.
He needs a calzone of his own.
Right. One of the things. That's why I get it.
I need a calzone of my own, a large soda, and 3 times a week I'll require a cannoli.
Right.
But you're saying there's a 4th?
Yeah.
Is it going to work for you? Can you use CBD with your current meds? This is a great
All right,
opportunity.
the deal was I do it on my route. I am not doing my route today. What the hell was it? A 4th thing.
Communities in Aurora. Get your questions ready. And
A calzone of my own.
30% off your first order by
Oh, and a slice of pepperoni pizza.
That's right.
Or as you would say, a slice of cheese on bread thing? What is that called? With the red
So you
sauce?
say, is it like a loofah?
What is that thing where you take 2 pieces of bread and you put stuff in? Oh, a sandwich.
A sandwich. You know, there's meat in the middle.
What is that long stringy stuff with bread? Oh, spaghetti. You know what? I've had brain farts before, though, that just blow my mind. And I think they get more increased when you get older. I do. I really do.
Not really. I think it's what jogs your memory and stuff.
I've had,
Because all of a sudden you might go
I
like
mean,
that.
I sometimes can't believe it. I want to think of a word. It's not coming to me. I'm like, what the
I think it's because we got too much on our mind.
And that's the other thing.
You know, you're juggling. How many things
Well,
can you juggle?
Well, Mark doesn't.
No, eventually,
That's what happens.
eventually what happens when you take a new thought in, when you get around 65-ish, something's got to go out the back in order to absorb in the front. Because you finally reached your maximum capacity of brain shit.
It's like what happens.
So if you ask Tom a question, something important could flow right the fuck out the back.
I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. I want to talk about insurance. Brian, real quick. Compass Insurance Group. When you, and I had a condo one time, twice you did it for me, you write a policy, and I said, hey, Brian, this seems pretty cheap. You said, well, Tom, even though it's a nice condo, you're only insuring from the drywall in. you're actually insuring the drywall in because the structure is the HOA. Now, explain what I'm insuring. The contents, of course, but what do you mean the drywall in?
Well, and it really does depend on the association's policy, but almost all of them are, not almost all, but most of them will require that the condo owners will insure drywall in, but that's a little misleading. To your point, and I'm not trying to skip ahead, but if the whole place burned down, they can't just get you studs and say, now you're responsible from here. In the case of total losses, they have to get it back up to where it's inhabitable, where you can actually get in and live. But the reason why they say drywall in is they are referring to small claims or claims that you have that aren't affecting the outside or the structure. Those are yours. So if you had a small fire within your unit, or if you had water a pipe that burst, they're not going to help you at all with any of the damage to your flooring, your cabinets, your drywall. They're not there their policy won't protect you. That's where your policy has to come into play.
What about the studs in the wall?
Well, almost all of the HOA policies will cover the studs in the wall.
Okay, now, or the floor joists or the ceiling trusses. Here's what I want to ask. If you are in this Miami building with a total collapse, they have to look at rebuilding, obviously. This could take years and years, right?
Yep.
Okay, first the investigation, the cleanup, the surveying, the approvals, the new building. Okay, what happens to where do I live?
Yeah, and that's where loss of use comes into play. So you better make sure you have a decent amount of loss of use, because some condo policies have very little. Because if they're based on a dollar amount and they're basing it off a percentage of the dwelling or the personal property, you have very little. What you're hoping for in those cases is more of a time limit, but even that's going to expire if they have a.
So that's loss of use. That's specifically loss of use. Now, would an HOA ever be responsible, or the developer, whoever has it at the time, for that loss of use?
No, I don't see where they're protected is they have coverage for themselves for any kind of loss of money that has, that they're not getting the fees or whatever. They might have a policy that's protecting them, but their policy is not going to go to help the people that find place or pay for extra, living quarters.
I think this could be a lot worse. We've had calls come in, Brian, where people need a new roof on their condo and they get hit with a special assessment of hundreds of thousands of dollars divided by however many people. I mean, in a case like this, they could literally hit these folks with a special assessment that wouldn't make any sense to even rebuild, right?
Well, the special assessment, I still would say, would be subject to whatever their deductible, which could be an exorbitant amount. Who knows? But even there, hopefully that it would be a covered loss, of course, if it's something that would be. I don't know exactly what happened with the collapse. I shouldn't say that, but yeah, if there's a covered loss, then your loss assessment comes into play. But I've had loss assessment claims over $20,000.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. More coming up.
God. Those poor people have to stay on, please.
It looked like it did happen at night, or either dusk or dawn. So.
Okay, am I the only one that's actually looked at this plumb line complaint?
No, I haven't looked at it.
Okay, you know what? I wouldn't. These people are fucking crazy.
Tell me what's going on.
Nothing. They simply, their neighbor had to get a sewer line. And the people next to him who didn't hire a plumb line are very upset because the woman said my husband wasn't home. So they asked if they could put some plywood down so they can put some dirt as they're excavating it. And so now they're throwing a fit like I've never seen in my life.
So Mark, hold on. Plumb line put dirt on the neighbor's lawn.
They went over to the neighbor and said, "Can I put down some plywood?" And they put dirt on it. And they agreed reluctantly that would be okay. But where the people got upset was when the excavating equipment, this little digger here, was on their property. Now, from everything I see, it didn't ruin anything.
That plumb line said that you go out there and make sure you
turn that down.
It's okay.
Well, okay, but why do they even think the sprinkler system's broken?
They did. That was the reason that they didn't want it. How could how could they be responsible for that? K&A, plumb line. If they drove it on the neighbor's property.
Yeah, they had the little excavator, and when I say little, I'm not kidding. Over on there. What's their problem? That's all I'm asking. I can't believe their fucking neighbor has to get their sewer line repaired.
The thing is, they just want to, plumb line said
You see that? Oh, our relationship with our neighbor will never be the same.
Right.
Well, what the fuck's wrong with him? Did you talk to him?
No, I didn't talk to him.
Here's what I'm asking. When K&H put the dirt on the neighbor's property, I'm doing K&H stuff there. When Plumline put the dirt there, when they did that, what did they do wrong?
Nothing. In fact, they even asked.
They asked them.
So then what do they think they did wrong?
They might have ruined their sprinklers is what they...
The neighbor's sprinklers.
But here's why they might have. Because the excavator, the track, actually went over to their property. It didn't ruin the grass. It didn't do anything. But somehow it might have broke their sprinkler system.
And then...
Are they having problems?
No. But Plumline was going to go check it out.
It's the dumbest, just when you think you've seen dumb shit.
It's crazy.
But
they have nothing to do but bitch. These people have
nothing
to do.
Now they're saying, like they said, that our relationship with our neighbors
will never be the same.
Now that tells me it never was good in the first place.
They're mad at their neighbors because their sewer line broke, and they drove something on the yard. Now, it didn't ruin the grass. It didn't do anything. But now their 15-year relationship with their neighbors is fucked. It's just the dumbest thing. God.
Bring them on.
We should go actually call them. I'd like to get this complaint on here. Honest to God, tell Suzanne to get them on. Just get them on. No matter what, get them on. No, there's no need to get Plumline on. Just get these wackos on. Let's play Wacko Day. Let's play fucking Wacko.
I love that Whack-A-Mole.
It's Whack-A-Mole. I just can't believe these people. I just ask them, is there anything wrong with the grass? No. Is the sprinkler broke? Well, we don't know, but it could be. Why? Why could it be? Why?
Well, it could. That's always a possibility, but I don't think it.
Well, okay, first of all, what time of year is it? Is it fucking winter? How hard is it to hit a button and see if your sprinkler works?
Are you?
Of course.
You know what, Dan? I'm gone one day. You got everything. Sprinkler problem.
The marketing stuff you're doing is really good. I'm trying to think. Again, this is totally up to you. Have you given more thought to the magazine?
I want to do the magazine, so
I would do it,
but
where you can monitor it, like with a coupon of some kind.
No, what I thought about is doing a code, something like
QR.
Yeah,
You know what we can do too? You and I, we can do a QR code on your ad that goes to a video of you and me at my house going over what I did, or whatever. Just keep in mind we're on. I just don't want to give away too much to competition, but I want to do something really creative for you.
Yeah, what I'd like to do is
special.
What I'd like to do is focus away from the Google AdWords campaign, take that budget, get away from Home Advisor and Angie. You want to talk about a scam? Oh my God. Angie and Home Advisor, it's just insane.
But are you making money?
Well,
if it's returning.
And so what happened is Angie's basically screwed me out of $400.
Do you need some?
No, I don't need anything. It's not important.
Oh, you sure?
You sure? So Angie's list called me up and gave a really good sales pitch that they're changing. They basically lied to me. I didn't know they were taking over Home Advisor.
Well, yeah.
So they took it over. So, I got rid of it. So what I'd like to do is that it's a love-hate relationship.
I haven't read it.
Last the beginning of the month. What you did is
he's a ghostwriter, but
advertising in the first
Did you get him on?
days. No, they said they required a cannoli to come on.
Well,
And 3 times a week, I will require my own
I'm
cannoli.
almost thinking
And a slice of pepperoni pizza.
I can do anything I want because
You're a large
doing it all
soda.
for me.
Right.
I'm thinking of
I am not on my route today.
and then like
They knew right away.
not
Oh, yeah,
moderate,
it's
but heavy, and then
How about the cream?
a couple weeks off.
I've never been much of a cream guy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the first one.
That's one thought. Or
Because I mean, the beginning of it, we've been.
no, we'll do it. And you know, I just have to. I have you and Frank Duran in a very special place. You guys, you know, because I take personal care to put stuff where I want it, and I work you into content because because I know you, but I know all my sponsors. I love all my sponsors, but people like KH who do a lot of advertising all over.
You'll love this.
They
one.
have set
I'm going to bring
things
it up
right
right here.
by. We
Am I
like
gonna
I can do this.
What's this called?
And that's what I like. I like having. That's how I grow businesses. Like Frank, I can totally do it.
It's like waiting for a
I'm taking
cannoli.
you on, and then who else? I have ones that are mine.
They're
They're like
times a
literally
week.
my integral panacea.
I love his line.
I think I told Fred Graham like a donut thing.
And I really like to hear this feedback because what you and I we
You know the meat stuff pocket.
That's why I have donuts and donuts. It's going to work no matter what. We'll make it work.
That's right. So it's just because like hey, that's not as bad as the falafel.
Bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help a common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome. Let's talk. What is on your mind today? We're helping people solve problems, answer questions, and taking complaints. I want to remind you, we recover hundreds of millions of dollars over our career, and every year, dozens of millions for people in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. This hour brought to you by RenewHomeInnovation.com, RenewHomeInnovations.com. And the one thing about Renew Home I want to say, they go in and renew that bathroom, and they concentrate on the wet area, and that usually does it. Just a big, beautiful rectangle shower in place of that old shower tub or in place of a tub. Some people are doing without tubs, but whatever you want to do, Renew Home Innovations can do it, and they do it in such a way that you will be astounded. Great prices and special prices for seniors and military. And they do custom no-threshold showers. That means you can go in with disabilities you can wheel in, you can walk in with a walker, or of course just regular use. RenewHomeInnovations.com, 303-904-2000. A company I know and trust. They can get you started the very next day. No maintenance showers too, and custom, each one of them. 303-904-2000. Mark, what do you have?
Fax Wars.
Fax Wars, yes.
10 years ago. Maybe even longer.
I waged a war. I'll give you a quick background.
Please.
An attorney came to me and said, I'm sick and tired of these faxes that are unsolicited. Do you know that you could collect money for these and for each one? And then he said, we ought to do this on the radio. So I did. I think it was faxwars.com at the time, where people who got faxes would get him and he would get them money or write a letter, a demand letter. And the people who sent faxes would have to pay a check. It was like like they're doing now with using photos on the internet and all that. This guy was a go-getter. So it worked for a while. And then I became part of a class action suit against faxers. Faxing to me was terrible because they were using your ink and your electricity and your machine without asking you. You would just all of a sudden be getting tons of faxes unsolicited. And, of course, that went by the wayside with email and stuff. But what's going on?
So about a year ago, this company called Westfax, these guys got hit with a $21 million fine. They fought it like hell in court.
And it was just recently?
Yeah, and they ultimately lost. And this all dates back to Fax Wars. I'm proud to present you with the check. Now sit down.
Okay.
I mean, if you get up and leave and quit, I understand. For $67.85.
That was my share of the class action?
That was your share. But hey, man, it's better than zero.
$67.
And 10 years later.
Wow.
Hey, but what's good, though, is this company, in all honesty, what's good is this company ended up paying, you know, a lot of these cases, guys like you aren't going to make a lot of money. Anybody in the class action doesn't. But it does penalize big time the company because they ended up paying out $21 million bucks.
But Mark, are people still doing junk fax?
No, that's how long that took to go through the system, man.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know of anyone, I mean, that gets a junk fax anymore.
I bet Doc still gets them.
I don't know. Anyway, so it's really good to know that that the system does work. And and people say, you know, why faxing? Faxing bothered me because the use of the ink and the machine. It wasn't, you know, junk mail doesn't bother me. If I don't like it, I just recycle it or throw it away. I never for the life of me ever have figured out why people care about mail. I don't care. I mean, I just toss it out. Unless they're doing something to me. So with the fax, they were using my machine, you know, and with my cell phone, you know, when they text you, when they call you, they're using your airtime or your texting, even though some of you have unlimited. But
some of those original fax machines were expensive as hell. If you recall, it was a thermal roll of paper. It wasn't like just putting in cheap paper.
Do you know, so many people were aggravated with faxes at the time. But anyway, that was it. 303-713-TALK. Now, I want to talk to Brian quickly so I can let him go. Brian Burns with Compass Insurance Group. We heard about the condo collapse, the entire building within minutes. The whole thing's flat as a pancake. Why? How did it happen? We don't know. But insurance, when you have a condo, you don't insure a condo. You insure kind of the air from the drywall in. You know, so if your cabinets, countertops, floors, all of that inside your unit get damaged, you replace them. Brian Burns, this HOA is going to be faced, I say HOA, whoever it is that owns this condo will be faced with replacing it. There could be a capital assessment, meaning if they have a big deductible, or if costs have gone up tremendously, they're going to have to maybe kick in as an owner, and that could be expensive. Now, some people will have assessment coverage, special assessment coverage, right?
Yep.
And so what is special assessment coverage?
You're finding it. Colorado, it happens all the time because of the hail claims, because of the roof. These insurance companies that are insuring the actual structure for the whole HOA, they can no longer, they just don't offer the same kind of deductibles they once did. They're now putting on, 5%, 10% deductibles on the dwelling amount. So you could have millions of dollars of a deductible in the case of a roof claim, or in this case, whatever happened here. And so then they'll turn around and then they will assess each unit owner and say, hey, you're going to have to participate in this deductible, so you owe us whatever that amount is, $15,000, $20,000. That's your portion of it. And if you don't have loss assessment, or you and I have talked, there's policies out there that they cap the amount they'll pay if it is an HOA deductible. So you might even have a $10,000 limit, but they'll cap you at $1,000 if it's an HOA deductible.
So hold on. So what you have to make sure when you buy a condo or you buy any or a townhome or something, if you're subject to capital assessments, you need to get special assessment coverage. And what's really important is that the special assessment coverage goes by the date of assessment, not the date of loss, because you may purchase something today that had a loss 3 years ago, and they just got around to assessing the capital assessment. And your insurance, you don't want them saying, you weren't insured 3 years ago when the loss happened, we're not paying it. You want coverage that extends to the date of assessment, and you can get that coverage, right?
You can. As a matter of fact, I quit writing for any company that does it off of loss date because it's just too big of a problem. It's exactly what you said. It can take a long time. Someone comes to you and all of a sudden they get a loss assessment and they're not covered. So every company we write for now with condo insurance, we only write with companies that do it off the assessment date.
And then one other thing, when it comes to this place rebuilding, it could take a long time. So you want to make sure you have loss of use coverage. That's very important, right?
Yes, and in lots of use coverage, you need to pay attention to what that dollar amount is or the time limit. It's one of the two. Some of them will offer 12 months, 24 months is probably the max you're going to find, or there's a dollar limit. You'd probably rather go with the time limit on a condo because any dollar limit is going to be, a portion of the dwelling, or it's going to be a pretty low amount. So
you know what's interesting? I'm staring at this condo, man, and it's crazy. It just collapsed, but it's only, say, a quarter of it collapsed. The other 3/4 of it, I mean, it's going to be, I don't even know. Wouldn't you guess they're going to kick everybody else out? They'd have to. The structure, the integrity is completely shot in the rest of the building.
Well, I didn't know there was anything standing, Mark.
Yeah, look, a big chunk of it's still standing. So the people that...
Oh, my God, they're going to get out of that.
Of course, but what I'm saying is the people that are affected, but yet their unit is not really affected. How does that work, Brian?
Oh,
that can still fall underneath loss assessment if you are forced out. Again, it's you look at the policy language and it's obviously in Florida, which is a totally different world for insurance. But it just depends on how the language is. But even if you're being forced out and your unit wasn't specifically damaged, you can get loss assessment.
Does it cover condemnation? Generally? I mean, if your building's condemned, does your insurance kick in?
Well, I would say right now, if they move out, they would absolutely have to pay for
God, you would sure hope so.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And like you started by asking if they would pay the association. The problem is the unit owners are the association.
Yeah.
It's not, they're not two separate things.
This is unbelievable. 51 people missing.
So those people, if you look at this, it doesn't look like there are going to be anybody.
How could they possibly be alive?
Well, and almost you would hope sometimes that they're not under there alive.
They did pull a small child out, I read. That was alive.
There are going to be so many people caught, and then animals and pets. I mean, it's just terrible. This whole thing.
The builder is going to be getting involved, as you can imagine. Whoever the builder is, I don't know how long ago.
How about the engineers?
I mean, how the hell did it happen? There's got to be a major investigation for sure. Thank you, Brian Burns. By the way, home of the insurance checkup, and that is very, very important to do a checkup, and that is done every at least 2 or 3 years, where you take an independent, neutral look at all your coverages and premiums to see if you have a great deal or can get a better one. 303-996-9000. 996-9000. Danny, what's happening with you? And I want to remind people, we have lines open at 303-713-TALK. Danny, what's going on?
How you doing, Tom?
Hey, man, what's happening?
Show every day.
Thanks.
I tried to do some landscaping work, tried to get bids last August. Went to Mr. Green Jeans. He was booked up till April, so got about 4 or 5 bids. To make a long story short, came up with this lawn with affordable landscaping. We let them know what we wanted. I don't know if you viewed the pictures I sent
I'm going to right now, Danny. I just saw it, so hold on, and we'll come right back to that, all right? I'll look at all of the pics.
When it comes to retirement, success is built upon solid financial planning. I'm Scott Hansen, and there are clear advantages to partnering with Allbirds. First, we are a fiduciary, which means our advice is always...
I'm guessing that's going to be more than 50 people, don't you think? Just looking at that?
That's depends on what time of day it was, Marvin. It looked like it's night. They're gone. Yeah, nighttime. Yeah, it's
coming up in 5 seconds.
Because when they say...
When you're in an accident and injuries are involved, you need help, of course, at the scene. I'm talking about afterwards. You need help with the legal aspect. And what I'm telling you is you can have free legal advice for the asking from someone who handles accidents each and every day and injuries each and every day because he knows personal injury law. And that's John Fuller, our personal injury expert. Get free legal advice. That would include if you have a case, who's responsible? Are they collectible? If you decide to hire John, there's no obligation. It's on contingency. He won't charge anything out of pocket. So you never pay out of pocket. 303-597-4500, free legal advice. Look for John Fuller on a referral list at referrallist.com. At referrallist.com, you're also going to find Blake Harris. Blake Harris is truly a champion when it comes to estate planning, protecting you. An estate plan is really about protecting you while you're alive as much as protecting your heritage after you're gone. So you should get with Blake Harris as soon as possible. Ask all the questions you want. In fact, he's even on TikTok with 833-ASK-BLAKE. Or you can call him. Seriously, what he does is answers all of your common questions free of charge. And then he only charges flat rates for what he actually does. A will, a trust, maybe you want a beneficiary's deed or a payable on death certificate, medical directives, whatever it is. Blake Harris, Harris. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE.
This is Bill Lampeter, General Manager at Cooney Lexus of Greenwood Village, the #1 Lexus dealer in Colorado. We just received 2 truckloads of special Lexus vehicles from the U.S. Open Golf events in California.
Well, they have to.
Where you can look at the other side, it's like there's a living room attached to the Belgians, right? That's one quarter just one.
There was a picture there, you see the guy's couch, like literally sitting there.
Yeah.
The one picture is it got a set of bunk beds that are still up there.
I saw that.
Can you imagine being in that bunk bed and stuff? Whoa! This ain't right.
Now's a great time to tap.
How does the integrity of the building?
They estimate at least 30 units
Your payments look.
could have been collapsed.
High interest debt.
30 units, say 2 per unit. You could probably say an average. That's 60.
But you don't even know, like, if they had guests, you're not going to have any record. You know what I mean?
Ideal home loans.
We know there's 51 missing, but if those 51 had any guests over, I mean, that's more that you just don't even know.
These are signs of widespread pipe failure due to mold, corrosion,
It's crazy, man.
rerouting a pipe or
And like I say, it's like a middle section collapsed first, and then that outside one just did it.
We were eating at Ramsey Burger. Okay, so it's Chef Ramsey's Burger Joint. It's in I don't know, it's in one of the hotels, wherever the hell it is. So,
Ramsey, that famous guy.
Yeah, Dave. Or not Dave Ramsey. Chef Ramsey, that's all I know. Chef Ramsey. Dave
The one that
Ramsey.
uses the flop.
Dave Ramsey opened a new fucking restaurant. So the soccer game's up there, and I'm like this, it's just a regular table, so I'm looking up the soccer game, not thinking much, and we're eating, and then we leave. As we're leaving, this old guy sitting by himself, he had to be like 110, motions me over. I'm like, what the hell? So I go over, he goes, if I wanted to watch the soccer game, I couldn't have watched it because you were like this. And I look at him and I go, oh. And then I left. I mean, like, what is that?
What he didn't want to watch.
He didn't, but yet he wanted to tell me if he did want to watch it, and my arms were in his way.
Well, you should have said, well, I'm glad you didn't watch it.
I didn't know how to answer it. I mean, he was so old, I didn't want to, scare him.
He's an old guy. Then I would have scared him.
Boom!
Back. We should have gone right to his face with a punch up.
I could tell when I was talking to him, his older thoughts were going right out of the back of his skull.
One at a time. No puffs of smoke.
Couldn't remember what his wife looked like after my third sentence to him.
This report is sponsored by your local Ford store.
It really does suck some of those shows are over to get though, man.
Mainly later on this
It doesn't say how old
Fucking
this
incredible to me.
Yeah, I mean, none of the big shows. None.
This is the stuff that normally happens in China. Where building classes, they try to save on.
Or Mexico.
That might be some really bad experience.
Now that's a micro.
I'm sure it is.
What is?
But remember, I didn't say it happens in the China.
No, their building codes are a lot different, man. Ours are.
Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. So, Danny, let's hear the woes of the landscaper. Affordable landscaping. What happened?
Well, he installed it, and we gave him a number of things.
It doesn't look terrible. The pics don't look terrible. Okay, hold on. The bottom one.
Yeah, that was before and then the after. And
wait. Why did it all die? It never knitted.
That's
in.
Right. I told him I needed it rototilled.
Oh my God! I didn't even look at these pictures. Okay, so it started out pretty, but it's like he just laid it on top of hard dirt, and he never allowed it to. I call it knitting in. Becoming part of the subsoil.
Yeah, we wanted him to rototill it. We told him that, and then after we found out he didn't do it, he says it's okay. It'll be okay. He says my work's good for it's warranted for guaranteed per year.
And did you have that guarantee in writing?
I did not have it in writing.
Okay, so you don't have a warranty. So what about anything else? Did you water it enough? He can say you didn't water it.
I watered it all the time. I got a sprinkler system there, and after about a month, I noticed that the one area where you see the lawn pulled up, it was starting to die right there, and I pulled it up, and none of it was rooting. So if he didn't rototill it right, that's what you're looking at right there. But I keep watering it. Now, to be honest, about a third to half of it came back because I kept watering it every night. All I want him to do is replace the other half. That's all I'm asking. If he could rototill it and he could replace the sod, I would be happy with that.
Look, I think this guy did shoddy work. When did he actually install it?
End of August. And you look at the check. I attached the check. There's a date on that. And
I think he owes you something. I really, honest to God, believe he owes you something. So we got to work it out, man. I mean, what does this guy think he owes you? What does he say?
He came over to finally look at it, and he was shaking his head. He said, I don't know what happened, but he was wanting me to pay half the sod, pay for the sod, and he would do the install. So I don't know if that's fair or not. I don't think it's fair because I paid $5,500 for the whole job.
Look.
And we've been trying to call him since, and he hasn't answered. Texting.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think he owes? What do you think, Mark? If that happened to you, would you want the whole? I'd want it redone.
Yeah, look, I mean, let's call the guy. Let's see if we can't get him on. Maybe he'll handle it.
Suze, can you call this company? And if you can't, can you give it to one of the Deps right now on? Is Deputy Smarty Pants on today? I know he has some follow-ups he sent us. For sure.
Who do you need him to call? I was on the phone.
This landscaper thing, if you pick up the line there, or we can give them a quick call to see if they'll come on. Affordable Landscaping and Danny. We're going to have a plethora of landscaping problems this time of year. Now, Deputy Doc, did you call? I asked you to call on this one right here. Were you able to get through to anybody on that landlord in Colorado Springs?
I left a message with the...
Good.
Their management company.
All right, and that's the case where, I really don't know what to say about that. She stopped paying rent, she said, after a shooting incident in the parking lot where she was between the shooters and she was upset. And her uncle believes, they're responsible because they don't background check, and also they're responsible because they said they were going to help find her another place. She stopped paying rent.
Well, here's what she spoke to a woman named Melissa. Melissa said, "Don't worry about it. The most important thing."
What does that mean? Don't worry about it.
That's what I'm saying. Said, "Don't worry about it. The most important thing is your safety." Then she got a call from Sarah, and Sarah's the one who said you owe us $3,200. So we need to find out if Melissa had the authority to tell her, basically, don't worry about it, we'll pay the rent, and what the
Did she say we're going to cover the rent? Did Melissa?
No. But she said, don't worry about it, your safety is the most important
thing. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Don't worry about it. What does that mean?
That's why I need to talk to these two women.
Well, people take that to mean, okay, I'm not going to pay rent. You see, here's the problem. I think people are looking for excuses. Now, I'm not saying this woman should have paid the rent or should have left. or shouldn't have left. She should have left, maybe. But she didn't. She didn't communicate with him. Let's talk to Nick Fawkes over at Renew Home Innovations about hiring people. We are doing kind of a soft job fair today. I'm not doing a very good job at it, but I want to tell you that, first of all, Paul the Waterman, who's here, we're going to talk to him in a little while. He's looking for people that can assist his plumbers. It's a great way to get into plumbing. They will train you on the job. You can be an assistant. We'll talk about it, and be an apprentice. And plumbing is a great career. And then I talked about Panacea Life, who does realcbdthatworks.com. Panacea Life, they want people to staff the kiosks at the airport and at Park Meadows Mall and Cherry Creek Mall. That's wonderful. Maybe you're retired or you're a senior, or maybe you want part-time, full-time. They pay great hourly wage, and it's pleasant work representing their CBD and CBG products. For that, you simply have to email them, okay? And I do have their email. And that one is, it's right here. Okay, it is humanresources@panacealife.com. And now Nick is with Renew Home Innovations. And by the way, they do the beautiful showers and shower and tub combos or whatever, and those are big rectangle. I call them big rectangles, but you can have whatever shape you want. I just love the work they do. But, Nick, you are so busy. You need more people. What kinds of people are you looking for, Nick?
Hey, Tom. Good morning. Yeah, right now it's a crazy busy time, and, a lot of customers are taking advantage of the products and the services we do, and we really are looking for plumbers. We're looking for finishers, guys that really take pride in their craftsmanship, and so it's really the aesthetics of the bathrooms that make it complete. And so guys that really have the ability to do good finish work, is so critical.
Okay, good finish work and bathroom type construction. And are you willing to take people, let's say, who are pretty good and train them further, or who should not bother applying, really?
Well, that's a great question. We offer apprenticeships. So if someone has a willingness to learn what we do and is willing to take the time and, embrace the process, they can find themselves a very fulfilling career.
Good. So you do have apprenticeships available.
Absolutely.
Good.
And we'd love to talk to you.
And Nick, you want them to call your direct business line, right?
Yeah, they can call the direct line. They can even call. I'll give my number here if it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
720-935-3251.
Okay, that is 720-935-3251.
That's correct.
And that's, or you can call their main office, 303-904-2000. And he will accept apprenticeships if you have some experience and want to learn more. It's a great company to work for. So many people are looking for people. I don't know why. I mean, I don't think you can say, in the case of plumbers and installers of bathrooms like Renew Home Innovations, I don't think you can say it's because they're at home getting unemployment. I don't think that affected that segment. Maybe restaurant workers and some other workers. But, Nick, in your line of work, your guys make enough money. They're not the type that are getting more money on unemployment, right?
Not a chance.
Yeah.
These are very high-paid individuals.
And there's no secret, Nick. These people are very high-paid. So this is a career move for you. And I know the company, of course, through and through. Renew Home Innovations. 303-904-2000 if you're looking for work. Now, so many people are looking for work, are looking for workers. You might think, why are you doing this, Tom? Is it any good? I know that there are people waiting to hear as opposed to going out looking. Okay, they're waiting to hear from specifics. So I'm telling you, Renew Home Innovations, top-notch operation. Waterpros.net. I know that. I know what happens there. Paul basically you're on your own, and you have, it's like your own business. It's great the way you work, Paul. You have your people, and I know the guy that came to my house, what a great guy, and he takes care of you. So what do you have, 1 or 2 people per job, and that's their job, right?
Yeah, we have 2 people per job, so it's safety protocol, because there's heavy lifting
and they do their
involved.
own. They do their own thing mainly. I mean, they control their own time.
Right.
That's great. And they're W-2 employees?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a real deal with with both Renew Home Innovations and with Water Pros. And of course, Water Pros you find at waterpros.net. If you guys are looking for help, or if anyone's looking for employment, give us a call.
This is Denver's talk station.
Okay, so Tom, here's the thing with choice.
Mr. Green Jeans, so whatever you want to do.
I'll yes, go. And
a Master Rooter and a Major League Baseball.
Okay, so
Mark traffic.
Do you want to do all 3, or do you want to give me that 30, or do you want to make it up with something?
I'm good. You can go. I sound like you got a piss. What did he say, though?
No, so you'll do all 3. Okay, Major League Baseball, Master Rooter, and Mr. Green Jeans. Thank you. Paul, if you have to use the restroom or anything, you want water or anything?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you very much. And change to Major League Baseball because it's going back.
His 31 pinpoint weather warning for several days. Thunderstorms today at 6 with high.
All low-level customer service people can't get to speak to anybody.
That's
funny. Right, so I think we need to just light up plumbing and
that's the other one. Yeah, we're going to do that.
we need to light up Bradley plumbing.
Keep it down.
To hire great people fast, you need Indeed. Sponsor a job, and you'll immediately get a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. More at Indeed.com/credit.
All right, check it out. Tickets are on sale right now for the SiriusXM All-Star Futures game and the MLB All-Star Celebrity Softball game at Coors Field. It's on Sunday, the 11th, and this is the best part. The first 15,000 fans receive a souvenir bucket hat. You got to check it out. You can get tickets at allstargame.com, allstargame.com. Now, check this out. It's kind of a company hiring as well. I love these guys, Master Rooter Plumbing. What I love about Master Rooter, they'll give a free estimate of anything. They'll actually send a plumber to your house for free and give you a free estimate. But the owner down there, Tony Akers, right now, $5,000 hiring bonus for plumbers. So if you're working for a company you don't like, maybe you're getting overworked, maybe you're not getting the bennies that you think you deserve, call these guys. 720-434-3406. Once again, these are the guys right now, $5,000 hiring bonus for plumbers. 720-434-3406. And while I'm talking about great businesses, 888heating.com. Check this out. If something breaks your air conditioner, it's making noise, it's not blowing as cold as last year, these guys will come out, they'll assess the situation, and they'll tell you how much to fix it. They're not going to say, oh, that's 10 years old, you need a new one. These guys are honest, and they'll give you the best price out there, and they'll always give you, the customer, the option. How much to fix it? If you want a replacement cost, they'll give it to you as well. 888heating.com is a website, and 888-HEATING is a phone number.
#1 New York Times best-selling author and founder of Edelman Financial Engines takes questions on his radio show.
Hi, Rick. I have a pension and can take it as monthly income or a lump sum. What do you think is better?
Fucking
Well, a
bananas.
monthly check is only as safe as your employer's ability to pay it. And the amount will never rise, so inflation will erode its value. What do they say who celebrities are in the softball?
What's that?
Do they say who the celebrities are playing in the softball? Invest the money however you want.
I know.
Generate your own income.
Mickey Mantle.
Whatever's left over.
I hit Mickey. I hit Mickey.
I love Mickey.
I love Mickey, and I got down Mickey. What did he say? So I plinked him. Not plinked. What do you call that? Now I sound like you. The meat stuffed bread.
The goof-off?
No, when you throw a ball and you hit someone.
I think it's plinking.
Plucked him. Plucked. Plinked.
Plucked is like you do with chickens.
Where do they come up with these new terms? I mean, I'm still trying to digest what Tom said when we walked in this morning.
What would you call it?
Microaggressions. That's been around forever, though.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It came out of colleges and stuff that they put on there. And really, what he was saying is not micro.
Micro is just like somebody just talking and somebody else could take it wrong. That's really what it is.
I call that misunderstanding.
I
call it a misunderstanding.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do.
I call it people
text you your login information. If I get any kind of verification, I'll text it to you, okay? If I get any codes that you have to enter, I will try to keep a lookout.
You can buy touchdown right away.
Once you get into your account,
sitting with all
try, if you can, to change your address. Okay?
You're snubbed by them.
Mickey.
Okay, here's the stuff.
Okay. All right, honey. I'm going to text you your login as well, so you can try to use it on the app. Okay?
So you got a chicken. You got a hen.
I've never heard of any of these guys.
I have no idea.
Yes. Charles Melton, an actor.
Charles Manson.
No, Noah Beck.
Can you imagine playing softball with Charles Manson? Now that would be a kick in the ass.
Tom Manson, no choice. I can't get you guys my score of the tunnel.
He's running around third base. He just stabbed somebody. He's dropping acid.
It's the bad guy in this.
What was that movie where it was the alternate ending of the Tate murders, or maybe it was the Bianca murders?
It was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
God, that movie was great.
I love that.
I love the ending too, man. They beat the shit out of all of them, chase them off.
That's why I said Once Upon a Time, because it's like what Tarantino would have loved to see happen. Like those fucking people came, and I love the Brad Pitt characters.
I love that whole movie. It was great. I like when he goes out to the ranch.
Beat the shit out of Bruce Lee.
I bet they portrayed that old guy that owned that ranch pretty well. You know, Charlie just sent all those women in there to take care of him.
Hey, you guys ever see a movie called Killing Them Softly? Yes, I watched it the other day. It has every famous actor.
How old is it?
Probably 10 years old. Killing Them Softly. Brad Pitt is in it. James Gandolfino is in it.
Oh, I must have seen it.
Ray Liotta is in it. It's incredible.
There's no way.
Killing Them Softly. Killing Them Softly.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for the best garage door service, for the most prompt garage door service, and you can get that service 24/7. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. There's another thing they'll do, an $80 check of your complete system, and this is top to bottom, side to side, the chains or the belts, the adjustments, all safety adjustments, hinge bolt tightening, rail adjustments, all of that for $80. When I move into a house, I have it done. I've had it done 7 times. It's worth every penny because they tell you exactly what's wrong. All of their prices, by the way, on the website for One Clear Choice Garage Doors, and the website is oneclearchoicedoors.com. oneclearchoicedoors.com. Suze, what's going on?
Tom, regarding that building in Miami that collapsed, a gentleman called and said, I guess there's limestone caverns underground that could have been the cause. It wouldn't have been the first time that it caused a building to collapse.
Limestone
caverns. Yes.
Yeah, well, there are sinkholes in Florida. Maybe that's what he's talking about, where the limestone, there's a lot of sand that keeps the limestone together. Like the limestone is like a porous, right? Now, what happens is through the years, the water table washes the sand away, and it leaves big cavities in the limestone. If there's a big enough cavity in the limestone, it breaks and falls into the limestone cavern. It's crazy how when I was in Florida, we would cover complete cars and trucks being sucked in by these things. And a whole building like that, if it was just in the right place where it gave way. But it's so scary. It is really scary. People are talking about it all over. When I walked out into the newsroom, they're saying, is that amazing how it came down like that? It looked like a controlled demolition. It really did. And again, we learned from our insurance experts, Compass Insurance Group, and by the way, home of the insurance checkup, we've learned that you for sure have to have loss of use and also special assessment coverage, which is from the date of assessment, and many other things for your insurance needs, okay? But it's really important to have those things. Suze, you talked to David Ellis Jewelry. Now, the reason I asked is people are stealing right and left catalytic converters because they contain what is it? The platinum.
You know, that's been going on for like 20 years, though, man.
Palladium? Palladium. Okay, anyway, precious metals. And I'm thinking, is there a market for that metal? So we just called David Ellis as our expert. What did you say, Mark?
It's been going on for 20-plus years, man.
No. But, why are we? But we're hearing about it so much.
I have no idea why a new rash, but it's been going on forever.
I think because of the regulations that are going on now that weren't there before, maybe?
Maybe. Or because we adopted California emissions, so it cost almost twice as much to get a cat now in Colorado.
But they're not actually probably reselling the cat. They're just getting the metals.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. No, of course.
Suze, what did he say?
Well,
What did David Ellis say?
He hasn't seen it, but he says that they usually carry 1/4 of an ounce to 1/2 ounce of the precious metal in. Dan, just so you know, I Googled that because I got an email on palladium versus platinum. Now, on Google, it says those cat converters have palladium, platinum, and rhodium.
And what is the metal worth in a one? Do you know?
I do not, other than an email that I got saying that palladium is $26.50 an ounce and platinum is $1,095 an ounce.
$26.50, $2,600?
$26.50, yes.
For an ounce?
For an ounce of palladium.
Wow. So I'll bet you.
What else do they
Wait a
do
minute.
with palladium?
Are you kidding me? So you're talking about maybe, hold on. Are we talking about maybe $5,000 in precious metals in a cat?
I think they sell between $300 and $500 on the black market or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, is that
stolen? Yeah.
So okay. Anyway, if anyone has any insights, give us a call. We always talk about things that are near and dear to our hearts and pocketbooks and things that are in the news. Danny, we're going to call the. Did we?
I did. I had to leave him a message.
Danny, all we got was voicemail, but it looks like affordable landscaping is going to be a difficult one to deal with. I mean, I don't think the guy's got a pot to piss in, to be honest with you.
Did you see that video, man?
I don't know if I have to. I don't know if my other recourse is just taking a small thing.
Well, listen, we can get on his case, okay? Give us a chance first, and then. Suze, give this to one of our deputies. Sometimes we can scare people enough to where they know their reputation is on the line. They may go ahead and do something. If not, you can do the small claims, but you still have to get a judgment. And that's going to be a pain in the ass. Mark, what were you saying?
There's this video that was going around last week on every news station. And it's this guy walking into either a CVS or a Walgreens, some kind of store like that. Yeah, he's on a bicycle, and he's literally just taking stuff left and right.
Oh, no, that's
right.
The
employees don't do anything because they can't.
Right.
You don't get arrested, and if you do get arrested, the DA drops all charges.
He drops charges under. He drops charges under 1,000, right?
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you just? Why even get a job out there?
Look,
why not just go steal everything?
Listen,
it's mind blowing.
With all the crime going on in all the cities, right? Everyone's wondering why. Okay. Now, what is one of the first things our moronic government does?
The guns. It's the guns.
Okay. Now, I don't care about the guns. I mean, if they want to do stuff with guns, fine. But that's not the reason. That's not the reason. The reason for the increased crime is the entire attitude has changed to favor, honest to God, to favor the lawbreaker because cops are evil. And that is the mindset. I mean that. Cops have lost total respect.
Well, how can you even operate a store? Then these mayors get so upset when these companies pull out. They go, oh, you're racist because you're closing up your grocery store. No, we can't lose money every day.
Here's the other thing. Do you know that Portland now is doing advertising campaigns to try to attract tourism because tourism has been cut in half.
Oh, yeah, come here and get mugged.
People are not visiting
Come to Portland, get mugged.
And they're not visiting Seattle. I wonder why. I mean, listen, I have an expression. You guys can borrow it, and I don't care, but it works. Life is its own teacher. You don't have to agree or disagree with me. I don't have to agree or disagree with you. Life will reveal who ultimately was correct. It will.
And this extra $300, man, when we just got back from Nevada, man, you can barely get an Uber. The taxi cabs are hard to get. And then on top of that, all the restaurants are looking for employees. Most of them aren't even open during the week. The nice restaurants, you got to go on the weekends because there's no damn employees.
That's another thing. Life is its own teacher. You pay people to do nothing, and guess what they do? Nothing.
That was in San Francisco.
That's the damnedest video. He's just taking shit off the no one does anything.
That's what the Democrats said on that. Hey, they're doing that to survive. That's how they survive. You know what he was taking that one? Hair products.
You know what?
He was taking hair products.
To survive. Hey, if you don't have good hair, you can't get a job.
People are going to get fucking
Well, I know, it's that pendulum, man. But why does it have to swing so far both directions?
People don't hear about
it. It's maddening.
CNN, the entire thing on increased crime is gun violence.
Yeah, but you're the only one that watches CNN now.
Well,
have you seen their ratings?
No, I know.
Like 12 people.
You know, I quit listening to Sean Hannity. I mean, after Rush passed away, I quit listening. You're the only show I listen to because I can't stand.
I can't stand the fucking news either.
I can't.
Every now and then, if you turn on the BBC.
And what about this Good Samaritan? They haven't said that killed the bad guy, and then the cop killed the Good Samaritan.
Is that what happened in Nevada?
Yeah.
The cop killed. I didn't hear that. That's the first I heard of that.
Yeah, wait. Check. That's what I checked. I saw that last
night.
That's
why
they're so quiet.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
You want floor coverings, you can find floor coverings anywhere, even online. So really, floor coverings are not hard to find. But if you want the best prices and the best installation and the best overall experience, now that's hard to find. Unless you go to simplyfloorsinc.com. Make your own appointment for in your home. They're at 52nd and Ward. You can even arrange to go there. They'll bring all the coverings, though, to your home. Better prices, better installers, better experience, better people. Simplyfloorsinc.com. And I can almost say the same about theartofgranite.com. Countertops are everywhere, right? But if you want to get them at wholesale, you can get them at wholesale anywhere, and the Art of Granite will do it. Or you can buy it wholesale from the Art of Granite or use their account to get wholesale prices. That's not where they make their money. They don't make their money on the bathroom. They do it free when you do the kitchen. They don't even charge you for carrot and haul away. They simply charge for fabrication and installation and are proud of their prices. That's why they will give you a price on the phone. 303-386-5919. 386-5919.
So they sure did, man. They killed the guy. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So that's why they were.
The cops killed the good guy by mistake.
Yeah.
He was at from what I read, he was at the
military
store, right?
What happened?
He went out and basically shot the bad guy, killed him.
He hears gunshots. He runs out of the store.
And he had a gun on him.
And starts chasing the guy.
And then what?
And then they exchange fire.
The bad guy and him.
Yep, and he kills the good guy. I mean the bad guy, and then the cops, shoot him.
Thinking he's a bad guy.
Yeah. And the cops are admitting that?
Who shot the cop?
The cops came out and said, it's a tragedy. This guy was a hero, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, God.
The guy in the store said he didn't hesitate. He literally hears gunfire, pulls his gun, runs out and starts chasing the guy. That's pretty badass. Yeah. I think you asked one time, what would you actually do if there was gunfire? This dude literally did it.
But who shot the cop? The bad guy?
No, no one shot a cop.
The cop that got killed, the bad guy shot.
Good Samaritan kills bad guy.
Right.
But cop kills Good Samaritan.
Yeah. So the cop
was already shot then.
No
cop.
Yeah, the cop died.
Different cop.
Different cop.
Oh, a different cop.
What did the Good Samaritan just drop? He didn't just drop his gun.
I don't know what happened. It could have been that they hear officer down, and so the adrenaline of the cop.
Well, how is and really how is a cop supposed to know when you go somewhere and there's two gunmen?
And you hear an officer down. You don't.
I mean, you don't know. When you're a good guy, what do you put up a sign? I'm the good guy.
Yeah, I mean you're.
Well, if you did that, I bet the bad guys would have that same sign.
Who says?
But that video, going back to that, is insane, man. If you can walk into the store and literally get in no trouble for stealing anything, how do you operate a store?
They're watching the guy do this, and they're not doing anything. Do it.
And if he does,
bite through the store.
He's just grabbing shit on a bicycle.
And then the state of New York's going to drop and snag.
That was San Francisco. I believe that was San Francisco.
Any of the looters that move to New York City aren't going to get
That's right.
dropped on the cases.
That's got to be $1,000.
And you know what? Hey, if I was a cop and there was no immunity anymore, I'd be out of it, man. You're going to get your whole family wiped out.
Kamala Harris was raising bail money for people, remember?
They need to do it so that the immunity is only against the cop and not against the department. So if they get away with qualified immunity, they should do it on a personal level and make the department pay for it so that it doesn't wipe out the cop if there's a question.
But that's not what they're doing.
I'm just saying that's the solution to it.
You can't. The problem is that people are going to get tired of it. But I think we've been under, not to sound silly, an attack for the last 4 years. I mean, look at what's going on. Our people question the integrity of the elections.
Of everything.
Everything. They're doing a.
Well, the media. They said Russia. They said Russia was trying to fuck with our elections. Let me tell you, our own fucking media.
Yeah, it happened right now.
They're playing it. They're playing us against each other.
Oh, they are.
Crazy.
And they want They want the violence. Right, because the violence is going to design to suppress.
That's what.
If you said Chinese virus or Chinese lab, 10 months ago, if they fucking pull you off Facebook or Twitter.
I mean, did you see what Joyce Behar said? And she gets away with it.
Well, of course, because she's on that side.
Right.
Here's the question: how can Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer never get sick? Trump gets sick. Every major Republican almost got sick. Rand Paul, and then this happens right before the election. Country shuts down. It's not a coincidence, no way.
Well, what are you saying though? That's odd.
Well, so how come they never got sick?
Yeah, but I'm asking you, what do you think?
What I think is that this was a strategic release of this virus.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. Richard's got a comment on crime. Go ahead, Richard. What's your comment, sir?
Yeah, Tom, I completely agree with what you said. And there's another factor involved, and that is that the billionaire George Soros is backing, extremely liberal DAs in places like St. Louis, Portland, Seattle, the liberal cities. And they don't believe in incarceration, Tom.
No, I know. But life is its own teacher. Listen, I don't have to argue with anyone. As soon as they start the defund police and all police are bad, I mean, come on. Can police get better training? Maybe they can. But I personally love and respect police, most of them. Obviously, you have good and bad in every walk of life. Now, with police, you want to have less bad because it's not like a little mistake when they make a mistake. Look. Why do we have to go to such extremes? Why? Why is it? People are getting the message that it is okay to do anything. Anything. I mean, it's crazy. There is no right and wrong. So we're going to live with the consequences until we don't. Life is its own teacher. That's all. That's it. Now, 303-713-8255. John, you want advice on buying versus renting. What is your situation?
I currently live at my parents' house trying to save money, pay off all my debt. And the problem is Colorado Springs is just extremely hard to afford to buy. And even right now, rent a house, being a first-time home buyer, if I wanted to go and buy, because people are putting in bids anywhere from 40 to 100K over asking price, and I just cannot compete with that without having 50 to 80K down for a down payment.
So right now, I want to analyze your situation and figure out what to do. Are you renting right now?
No, I live with my parents.
All right, hold on. Let's talk.
How old are you?
Well, let's get that right after the break. I'm Tom Martino. We'll figure out what he can do. We always ask people to call before the trouble.
And is he working or is he just living in his parents' basement playing video games?
I think he's working. We had an install where a guy had to be in his mid-30s and he was like, we revert back teenager. We went down to the basement and he's got all these sort of,
Left a voicemail.
Oh,
I told her you said.
He was in his 30s.
I have to show you this. This is what our
I saw that
little
video.
deals
That's
with
like a
every
complete
day.
collapse. That's insane.
Is he getting his ears
What?
chewed?
Something.
She won't even let him have the stick. She is such a pain in the ass. Isn't that funny?
What does she do at home? Does she
There's no way they would.
Destroys our furniture at this point. We're in not good shape at home.
Wait a minute.
She has chewed our coffee table. She has chewed our leather chair.
It didn't only affect the United States.
I told Mark, maybe we need to experiment with different chew toys.
I mean, that's
It's
a
just
little too
bad.
far.
Where's watching that come up? Oh, we have an Aussie, and this is what she does to our shepherd. Let's see it. It'll replay. Watch it. She's just constant with it. Won't even let him have his own stick. The pistol.
See, this is what my son's dog does to
That's
me.
what I wish our dog would do.
What?
Look at her. Watch it.
You know, are these audits picking up any real voter fraud?
They're not saying anything.
It's not. People are working on it every day. Did you know that there are people working on it?
Arizona's
and
gonna do
Georgia and Michigan.
Well, the Georgia Secretary of State did something about it. They cleaned up the border rolls. Arizona's going to release their data, and then I don't think Pennsylvania started yet. They had to do a.
But I mean, I don't think they're ever going to.
Well, here's the last thing I'll say. It's all silly. How can the guy have a huge lead? We went to bed, and then it's all.
Did you see the betting odds? He was 75% to win.
Yeah, I mean, then it's all gone, and then it's just. I think I could see Pennsylvania stuffing ballots, and I could see Georgia because they sent everybody home and they got video evidence.
It's not even that. It's the false or no information is that's the biggest fucking problem. Look at Biden's laptop. They didn't even, it just fucking didn't exist.
Yeah, they covered that up. I mean, that's,
The media they don't cover it up, they just don't cover it.
And look what happened with Hillary's.
Or they cover it and say it's all bullshit.
What happened to,
if Hillary was a Republican, she'd be in jail now.
Do you know the next elections will be nothing like, they're not going to cover anything negative about their own side.
They found out that works.
Everybody's
found out that works.
No, because now they're sowing or reaping their
Major
rewards.
networks and CNN, they are all pushing an agenda. They're not reporting news.
Where's Durham? What happened to him? Who? Durham.
The Durham report? That guy's up.
Who?
Durham? The Durham report?
I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
No, I'm saying the wrong. Who's the guy that was appointed?
Drudge?
The Drudge report.
No. Who's the guy? Who's the FBI guy that was appointed to look into those issues?
Durham wasn't it?
It was Durham was right.
So I don't know if he was FBI or whatever.
He was an FBI guy that Trump's Attorney General appointed to.
Well, they probably got rid of him when they took.
No,
it's done away.
Yeah, it's just you never heard anything.
It all goes back to
really,
Obama, who said,
I really want to know
transform
that laptop. Where is that laptop? Where is it?
Oh, they have it. The FBI had it a year before.
bottom of the Potomac River.
No. They have it.
So there's three things. I mean, for the whole Trump term, you heard Russia collusion. They investigated him inside out, right? Nothing.
Oh, not nothing is literally nothing.
Right, and so, but Adam Schiff and everybody went on all the Democratic news sponsored networks and said there's evidence of collusion, and there was
nothing.
Yeah.
He's still working. The Durham report's still working. He's still working on it.
Of course it is.
What scares me more than anything is the crackdown on speech and ideas.
I agree.
When it comes to discussing the vaccination and stuff, you can't have an open discussion without them flagging you.
Yeah, that's it.
That's wrong. I mean, I don't even buy the bullshit. It's a private enterprise. No, that's wrong. If you're going to be a forum, you're going to be a forum. You can't fucking just, if people are smart enough to pick out the nuts, they really are.
You know, they fucking, if you think about it, they literally blocked the president of the United States
from talking.
It's an amazing thing.
They cut his speech.
And really, what is he saying right now? That would be what? That
they stole the election.
Yeah, so they don't like that. Who cares? Who cares?
Well, just like in college universities, you know, instead of debate, you know, they're going to beat the hell out of you. You know, they're going to beat the hell out of you. They're getting rid of Grant. Grant's statue removing from New York. Why? That's just insane.
You know what's really insane is the Democratic Party was a party of slavery, was a party of Ku Klux, was a prior.
Well, but I don't think that's relevant because
yes, the hell not. Look, Doc, I'll just tell you now. Why are they calling all the people like Grant? They take them off, and their name is stricken. Why not strict the Democratic Party name?
No, I agree.
Why is that not relevant?
I agree.
Well, because they're not the same.
Well, but you're going to say that the people of Grant wasn't the same.
No, but
as
Grant is still Grant. Grant is still Grant.
I know, but
they're not saying.
To their favor.
They're not saying that people in the South are bad or people in the North are bad. They're saying Grant. I mean, by saying Democrats of yesterday were the same as the Democrats of today, I mean, it's really not.
But they're changing the names of these things. So if
their
name was
because
bad,
he's Grant, because he's a person.
It's not just that and stuff, but they're so if the Democratic
Use an example that's not a person then.
Well, Confederate flag.
Well, because the Confederate flag stood for the
Confederate. That's how they put it there. Well, Democratic Party stood for slavery.
There's so many people that. Okay, I don't think. I mean, obviously they were the party of this and that, and there were a lot of, but they're not. To make the argument that they're the same.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
what
that.
he should say is why don't they go after Democratic leaders of the past that were for the slavery?
Because they don't have to.
They're no longer in power. That's why.
Yeah, but they're going after all the old leaders that were, you could say, that were part of the
but they're going after the memorialization of those old leaders. That's what they're going after. They're not going. None of those leaders are alive today.
Well, exactly, but it's history. Why erase it?
Well, now they can't even ask.
I'm not saying you should erase it. I'm just saying I understand the reasoning. I mean, I understand they're saying it's a black mark. I don't think you should erase anything.
I see. Now, the conversation we're having right now, you can't have it out there. This is the whole point. We can debate this and not get angry.
I know.
We can't have this outside.
That's true. No, it violates standards.
Yeah.
Right.
Bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Let's talk about your problems, questions, and complaints. 303-713-TALK is our number. 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by Silverleaf Mortgage if you're looking for a reverse loan. And in many cases, it's a viable way to tap the equity of your homes to never pay tax on it. If you sell your house and make a lot of money, you will pay tax on part of it if it's over the allowable amount. But with a reverse loan, no matter how much you take out, you won't pay tax on it because it's part of your equity. Isn't that funny? You can borrow it and never, ever pay tax on it. But if you sold and took that equity, you'll pay tax on anything above the exclusion. So that's one good reason, a line of credit for emergencies, whatever. I'm not trying to sell you on a reverse loan. It's good for some, not for others. And by the way, you have to be 62 or no older. The older, the better, I think. Some people do it just not to have a payment. Other people do it to have emergency line of credit. And as I said, they will never take your home because of how much you owe on it, ever. The only way you lose a home is if you don't pay your taxes or insurance, just like with any loan. And you can even use the reverse loan to pay that. 720-REVERSE, Silverleaf Mortgage. They even have a nonprofit foundation to help you pay for getting your house fixed up. Either low interest, no interest, or a grant, depending on your need. Silverleafmortgage.com, 720-REVERSE. I welcome you to the only show of its kind anywhere where we talk about all the things that are near and dear to your heart and pocketbook, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. John wants to talk about getting out of his mom and dad's house. John, how old are you right now? Just curious. John, are you there? Maybe not. He's not there. Okay, I wanted to analyze his situation. He said he didn't have a lot of money, and you need a lot of money to take part in the housing market right now, which is true. But there are condos where you can get some deals, some townhomes. Also, I wanted to mention, since he's not there, I want to mention that you have to have good credit, though. That's the one thing you have to have. There are first-time buyer programs. There are down payment assistance programs, and all kinds of programs to get people into housing. But you do have to have good credit. So above all, you need to work on your credit. So Sue's line 2 is gone. Let's just clear that line and talk to Anthony. Anthony, welcome to the show. What's going on, Anthony?
Yeah, so I'm not going to mention no names or nothing, but it's been a year since me and my ex have broken up, and she's living with a sex offender and or his family. And I have 2 kids with her. I took care of a kid that wasn't mine, but I, wanted her to be, in my life and, take care of it as a family. She put a protection order on me. She don't have my name on the birth certificate. Right now, I can't see my kids at all. It's been about 9 months.
Were you ever married? Were you ever married?
No.
Okay. So when did you guys break up?
Last year, around October in 2019, I believe, or 2020.
Okay. And hold on. And the reason you broke up, was it because of this other guy?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, because when he was in jail, she was writing him, and I didn't like that. Some stuff she would say on the letters were kind of getting
really, why did she get a protection order? Was it a permanent or a temporary?
It's permanent. I mean, I'm not that type of guy that would hurt anyone.
How did she get?
Judge agreed with her.
Yeah, that means that you had a permanent hearing and the judge found you to be a threat, unless it's temporary. But it's a permanent restraining order. So what does that restraining order say?
Basically, I'm not allowed to be 200 feet with her.
Ever.
The kids aren't on it.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay, but do you have visitation?
No, and I'm working on getting all this stuff done. But I want to take her to court for defamation of character. She actually was
Don't waste your time, Anthony. Don't waste your time.
No.
And let me tell you why. I'm just telling you the truth. What do you mean by that? What is defamation of character? It means defaming your character. So tell me what you're suing for.
So basically, like money-wise, or why I'm suing?
What was the defaming of your character?
Well, she basically made me look like a person that I'm not. And she basically, I'm the only wilding that lives in this state. She gave my mom a heart attack. She was very abusive.
Okay, but Anthony, you're not giving me not one thing that's solid. You can't prove she gave your mother a heart attack. Tell me exactly how she defamed your character. Exactly.
Basically,
not she made me
her family and stuff that I'm a bad person. I have proof on that.
So hold on. She was telling her family that you're a bad person. She has every right to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's her opinion,
and let's not forget a judge actually agreed with this.
No, a judge didn't agree with his character. A judge agreed with the restraining order. Let's talk about defaming. The defaming of character. Okay, so many people talk about this, and they don't have any idea what they're talking about. Most of the time, there's no such thing as defamation of character. That is something someone heard.
Slander.
Okay, there's no such thing most of the time as slander. Here's what slander is and libel. Okay, what they are written, or one is written, one is verbal, and they're lies that you knowingly publish about someone. Knowingly. Okay? So you have to take the lie. It's not an opinion, it's a lie. And that they knowingly publish about you. But hold on, you're forgetting not only do you have to prove first they had malice intent, the intent was to hurt you, and it was untrue, and they knew it to be untrue, and they told people about it, or published it in writing. Now, after you get over that burden, if you do, by the way, now what are the damages? Did you lose a deal? Did you lose a specific job where they said to you, well, we read this about you, and because of it, we're not going to hire you? Anthony, what I'm saying is this: don't waste your time and energy. Honest to God, that's what I'm really saying to you. Most of the time, what you have is anger. You don't have a case, you have anger. And when I say you don't have a case, I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm talking to you like a friend. Maybe an attorney would say, oh, yeah, you have a case. But do you realize that they're not going to take these cases on contingency? So you're to truly prove a defamation case or slander or libel, you're looking at, what do you think a minimum to get into court? Minimum, what do you think? $75,000. $75,000. Okay? That's just to get into court. Now, are you going to get that in damages? You can't even point to one thing that she did to damage you. I am telling you this like a big brother or a father or uncle, because you're just angry. And you're just angry. You're pissed off that she's saying bad things about you. Big deal. She has an opinion, and most of the time opinions are protected. Unless she calculated a lie and built it on knowingly false pretense and told people about it in order to damage you, you don't have anything. What you should concentrate on is rehabilitating yourself to a point where you can get visitation and you can get time with your children. Right now, what is the visitation right now?
I had nothing. She hasn't even contacted child support services. I had to do that.
Are you paying child support?
No, I'm not even on the kids' birth certificates when they were born. She came up with an excuse that the nurses were mean to her or something stupid like that.
So the bottom line is, you're not paying child support either, right?
No, but I want to, and I want to be able to see my kids.
But they're not even acknowledging you. The law does not acknowledge you as the parent, do they?
I don't know at this point. I mean, that's why I wanted an attorney, is to see, because, to be truthful, I'm not really mad about the fact of what happened. I just want to be able to be in my kids' life and what's in their best interest. Okay.
Now, where do you work right now? What kind of job?
I haven't signed the W-2 yet, but I do security with Surrey Elite Security Services.
So you do security. So you have been working how long now?
I've been working, I think, for 3 months now with this job.
Okay. And before that,
SSDI.
Before that, how long have you been working?
Before that, I was hopping around from job to job.
Okay,
because I was with her.
So you never really had a steady employment.
Yeah, I have. I worked with Community Reach Center for 7, 8 years.
Okay,
and then
that's
when
good.
I got with her, she made me quit.
Now, Anthony, did you say how old you are?
31.
And where do you live? Do you own or rent?
I rent an apartment in Thornton, Colorado.
Okay, so you pay your own bills. You live there alone, or okay, good. So you work, you pay your own bills, you have an apartment. That's good. That's stability. The longer you keep the job and the apartment and pay your bills, the better it will be for parenting. Now,
yeah, exactly.
Now,
and that was my main priority, because when all this went down, I was in a really bad rut, and I didn't know how to pay rent.
So here's what's going to be good. What you need to do is stop the warring and the battling going after her. Here's what you need to do. You need to concentrate on improving your situation, and then applying to social services. What you need to do is get into court for a motion for visitation. They have to have really good reasons to keep you from your children. And if you're the biological father, now they may deny you're the biological father, and you'd have to prove that. But here's the deal. That's what you need to do instead of hiring an attorney to go after her, because you don't have the money to begin with. I'm not sure you have the money for an attorney to go for visitation, but that's not a bad news, because you're not ready for visitation yet. They would turn you down. You've only been on the job 3 months. How would you come out in a drug test? Seriously, how would you come out right now if I asked you to take a pee test right now? Be honest.
I don't do drugs. I drink alcohol sometimes, but
Well, that's
not all the
fine.
time.
I mean, as long as you're not intoxicated at inappropriate times.
Yeah, I don't drink.
Suze, what did you want to say?
I don't drink to get intoxicated.
Suze, did you have something?
No, I didn't,
Oh,
Tom.
I'm sorry. All right, hold on, Anthony. I'll have some very solid suggestions for you, okay? Because we've handled this before.
Hang on, then I have Jovita and John coming up.
Can he get the court to force the woman to get DNA from the kids?
What's that?
So say he goes to the court and says, these are my kids. Can the court force the mother to allow the court to get a DNA sample from the children?
Yes. If he's claiming paternity, yes. Okay. But he has to have more than just a hint.
Answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. Sign up today at iPhoneAdBuilder.com.
Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan, and what that means is simple. If you're looking for a refi or you're going to buy a home, Ideal can get you the loan. And here's what's great about dealing with Ideal. The interest rate guarantee means you are guaranteed that if rates go down by just 0.75%, the next 2 years after closing, they will refinance you free of charge. And every time you close, you get a new guarantee. They also, of course, will help you in other ways, like credit optimization. What credit optimization is helping you with your credit, even if you're approved. You may have to pay down a balance on one credit card, and you could save a couple $100s a month. They are the only ones that tweak your credit legally and quickly and let you know. 303-867-7000. They've been in Colorado for many, many years, and the same owner in Colorado for Colorado. 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com.
Your timeshare sits empty. Travel restrictions and quarantine is the new normal. Over and over you have heard, we are all in this together. Meanwhile, your timeshare sits empty.
That guy reminds me,
month after month,
years ago, I went through a divorce, and she, found out, the richer guy. He had an attorney named Ashley Boyd, who knew Chief Justice.
Yes, and I need to take a picture of it on the log. They want me to have that. Okay, I'll come in there.
Legally and permanently. We're so good at it, we even offer a one.
Long story, these.
Hold on 1 second.
Your money or dump your timeshare. Start the freedom process. Call Timeshare Freedom Group now because you have better things to do with your money. 855-48-CANCEL. That's 855-48-CANCEL. 855.
What do you want in an automobile facility that repairs and maintains vehicles? What you want is honesty and integrity. You want knowledge and experience and convenience. You get all of it with SheridanAutotech.com. SheridanAutotech.com. 2 locations for your convenience in Lakewood and Aurora. You can go on the website to find out more, SheridanAutotech.com. And you have integrity, many years of service with people who really love Uncle Kevin and the way he does business. For integrity, honesty, experience, know-how, and to get the job done right, including auto electrical issues, SheridanAutotech.com. 303-455-7242.
What are you saying? I want to take a picture of that.
No, it's
Buzz.
Okay.
My name's Dan and Buzz.
Get out of here.
You know what your problem is, man? Your multitasking is not good.
It's great. I know it's great.
So you got a chicken and a rooster. What's the hen do?
Who's having
sex with the hen?
They're all having sex with each other.
Is it a game bird?
What did he say? He said, that's what did Dad say?
Something like it's not good.
And the way he goes, you got the chicken, the hen, and the rooster. And
It's perverse.
That's where they left off.
All right, how old's John? I say over 30.
Oh, yeah, he said that.
31.
Oh, you did? Fuck, I missed it. When did he say he was 31?
When Tom asked him how old he was.
That was exactly when he said it.
It's when you're playing with your falafel.
I still don't understand why Bill O'Reilly would be rubbing women down in the shower with the falafel.
You know what's funny? The first time I heard this, it makes sense. Hannity, I don't listen to Hannity very much.
Now, why are there two of them?
He calls Joy Bear Joyless Bear. That's so funny.
Joyless Bear, yeah.
Because she is. She's so joyless. And her and Whoopi Goldberg, holy cow.
I used to think Andy was somebody, but I think he's just another, unthere personality that wants to take advantage and make money off of
This stuff is the same things over and
over and over again. Does nothing.
I wasn't no Rush fan either.
Rush pissed me off during the Obama first term, and then, he wouldn't back anybody politically, and then after that he started making money. Remember that 2-5 tea, and he was selling tea and selling all this other bullshit. Oh, yeah, you did that.
I like O'Reilly.
Everybody sells buckets of fucking food now, though. Everybody.
Oh, it's crazy.
You can get 365 meals for $50.
You
just add fucking water to it, man.
What
are you talking about?
These buckets of food, you just add water to it.
It could be all pancake.
Doomsday
could be.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
It is. I mean, look at it. I mean, a lot of it is just dry mix. It's not really like.
It's all macaroni. It's that macaroni and cheese powder.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, Paul the Waterman's with us as well. Let's not forget about that. I got some things to ask him because, again, it's extraordinary the value you get for the money. Right now, the guy hung up. I wanted to go over how do you get visitation, and that sums up this guy's life. Impatient, impetuous, just, ready, shoot, aim. No, shoot, aim, ready, or whatever. He's just all hyped up on wanting to go after his ex-wife for lies and libel. By the way, libel is written, slander is verbal, and he just doesn't know where he's going. What he needs to do is concentrate on himself, get himself stable. Stay at a job more than 3 months, pay your bills, and then save up some money to make a motion for visitation. It's all about working on yourself and trying to drop the hate and the hostility toward the ex. You need to get back to yourself so you can get visitation.
Can you libel or slander someone that's a public figure, or does it just make it a lot harder to do so?
You can libel and slander them all day long. It's the damages part. The damages, they have taken away damages of public figures.
Because you're holding yourself out there.
Right. So you can't get distress and the emotional thing. Yeah. You can't get that pain and suffering. You are allowed to sue for actual damages as a public figure. So that's why it's so hard to go after people. But, do you have someone who canceled the contract specifically because of this post, and the post was false? Well, that's a real economic damage.
How about if you said something like, or if someone said something about, let's say, a TV news guy, and you said something like, oh, I think he might be a child molester.
Oh, my God.
And it ends up getting him fired, but you didn't actually say he was.
Oh, no.
But you inferred it. Is there anything there?
Opinion is protected. However, if you say, in my opinion, he is, that's a whole bunch different than the thing I think he may be. I think he may be has to be qualified by something.
Got it.
But even an opinion can be construed as destructive if there's no basis whatsoever. I mean, here's the point. Opinion is protected, but there are even limits on opinion if it's so outrageous. Like a child molester would be probably outrageous. Because what would you be basing that opinion on? There has to be a basis. If the basis is I want to hurt someone, that's where you get in trouble, the intent part of it. Intent is really, really important. If your intent isn't to hurt someone, you can still be held liable to an extent, but not as much as intentional malice where you just are out after somebody. Wow, is that bad news?
You know what's weird is years ago, let's go back 30, 40 years, if you said, oh, so-and-so, that NFL player, he's gay, that would be a bad thing. But now it's not a bad thing. I'm being serious. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know.
It's like it's completely changed.
No, you're right. Okay, so, John, I'm glad you're back. You want to talk about buying versus renting. Okay. You are, I believe you said 31 living at home, right?
Yeah, I'm 30, going on 31.
Yeah, okay. And you are now living with your parents, right? How long have you been living with your parents?
About a year now.
Okay, before that, what was your situation? Did you have a rental history?
Yeah, I rented an apartment with my ex. Made it through 1 year, then the second year renewed our lease, and then separated. I left, and I still finished out that lease, paying my half, even though I was living at my parents' house.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask. Do you have any negative rental history? I'm not talking about credit now. I'm talking about negative rental history where they would give a bad reference.
No.
Good. What about credit? How is your credit?
It's been 5 years since I did a bankruptcy, just being young and dumb and making a lot of money. But it's gone up a lot. I'm in about the 700s.
You are? Really? 700 right now?
Yeah, a little bit over from what Credit Karma wants to give.
Okay. Now, here's the point. After 10 years, it'll go up tremendously when it drops off. But it will affect you now, but not as it's not going to be the same as no bankruptcy, but it's not going to be terrible if you're at 700. Your credit score is going to be supreme. And when it comes to buying a place, if you're looking to buy, there are condo and townhome deals that can be made, and there are some first-time buyer programs. But you have to at least have the income, no matter what. Well, first you need credit, no matter what, and then you need income. So credit and income. That doesn't mean you need an accumulation of money. There are some 100% loan programs. But if you don't have the income, there's nothing you can do. So what is your annual income if you annualized it? What do you do right now?
I'm a concrete driver down in Colorado Springs, and
okay.
Last 3 years I've averaged anywhere from 60 to 65,000.
Okay, that's not bad. Can you continue to make that? Is your job prospect good? Is the future good?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Are you a CDL?
Yes.
Good. And I'm not sure if I asked you or the other guy about drug use. Would you pass a P test?
Oh, yeah, I'm regulated under federal law, so I can't do nothing.
Good.
I mean, I can't even really have a beer without popping a breathalyzer and going to jail.
So, John, you have all the major things in place right now. You have a job, you have a CDL, you have some pretty good credit, you have no negative rental history.
How much have you saved up? 70 grand for 3 years?
I mean, have you saved any money?
I'm now starting to get real serious just because of the housing market that's down here. But what concerns me the most is I can save the money. I can save, 20, 30 grand in a year and a half, maybe 2 years if I get real tight. But with the housing market, it's such a nasty gamble that it sucks because right now homes down here are going in the high 3s all the way to low 7s, depending on what type of house you would like. And I don't want to say it, but I foresee a housing market crash happening.
No, I know what you're saying, John. I know what you're saying. There are a lot of people overbuying, and that's wise. but there will be a correction. I don't know if there'll be a crash. So, my solid recommendation to you is to keep working on credit. That means even artificially starting some credit cards that you can use and pay off. Keep the balance up for 3 months and do it again. Try to get a card that will give you a chance. There are plenty of them that will do it. That's the first thing. Keep your credit growing. Then I would have your parents establish some kind of a rent situation for you to get you some rental history and really do it. Now, I don't care if they give the rent back to you as a gift. I don't care how they handle it. You can do it all off the books, but you have to have some kind of an accountability there. That will help. And then another thing is the real estate person. And I have the very best for you in the Colorado Springs area, and she can work with you from now. Hold on, and I'll give you the information. How you build up to be a buyer. Hold on.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross Kaminsky in the morning and Dan.
It's a tough market.
I don't see it going down for a while, man.
I see slight correction, maybe. Well, I don't think we're ever going to have...
The inventory's just not there.
It also depends on the rise of the interest rates.
Well, that'll slow anything down.
Yeah, but you see the news reports, I think we're, and in other areas, the market's going down. In Colorado, I think, is anomaly as a country, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not going down much.
All people in Florida are going to move here because we don't have limestone.
Well, it's got to be going down in California they've already lost, first year they've lost more people than they've ever gained.
It's definitely down there, man.
Definitely.
It's just how much. But it was just crazy in California.
I think
so if you hear that they certified the recall election for Newsom, they're definitely going to have a recall election?
Yeah, I thought it was certified.
No. The Secretary of State, they had, after they submitted the signatures, that people had like 60 days to retract their signatures. They only had like 50 people do that. And so she is certified.
Let's talk about Rocky Mountain IVmedics.com. You should get IV therapy. Why? Because I do it monthly, and it's great wellness therapy. Oh, if you're sick, definitely call them. But it's great wellness therapy. Everything from a Myers cocktail to NAD, which is a cellular rejuvenation. Of course, they have things for migraines and for hangovers or anything else. They'll come to your home for the same price you can get IVs at a hydration bar. So don't go out of your home. Get it in the convenience of your home. Do it. Rocky Mountain IV Medics.com. I love these people. You will too. 720-987-2155. Call or text for same-day appointments. 720-987-2155. I also love Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, like a brother. And when I say like a brother, I mean it. I mean, Frank can call me any time of the day or night. I can call him, and we can just talk and talk. And this is the kind of guy that you want with integrity, character, and results. 26 years selling homes, more homes in a month now than most do in a year. And he does more in a year than most people do in a career. You got to check him out. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. For buying or selling, it's Frank to turn to. 303-920-1622. So when I first came to Colorado years ago, I met, well, it wasn't 40 years ago, but it was a long time ago. I met George Donaldson, and he was with the Candlelight companies. He grew those companies to new heights and then built another company and another, and now he took Fix-It 24/7 and did the same thing with quality, integrity, and value. FixMyHome.com. Do you realize right now he has new HVAC systems starting at just $77 a month? Now, here's the deal. I want you to know that it's really important to get your system if you need it, because there will be supply chain shortages. I'm not kidding. But they have plenty of American Standard in stock, starting at just $77 a month. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939.
This is the Trading Group Show, Saturdays at 1 p.m. on 630 K9.
So anyway, Dan, so the election is going to happen.
Okay. I guess I was, because there's so many people running, like, what's her name?
Well, I like her. I like her.
Jenner?
Jenner.
Better than Newsom, that's for sure.
Oh God, it's so crazy out there.
The whole world.
They're lucky they got a bunch of federal money.
It's upside down.
But they deserve it. I mean, just like Portland, Oregon, they deserve it. And when I say that, I mean they deserve it because they allowed it to happen.
So here's my question. How everybody in our age group right now, how did this happen because of where we grew up as kids, what we saw our parents and grandparents do? How, because we're the parents and grandparents of kids today, how did the country get to, was it because the
how did we get to what time? What are you talking about? To where the liberal agenda?
Yeah.
The progressive agenda?
I mean, was it because
I've often wondered that. Why didn't it gravitate the other way? It's real, listen, the country didn't get anywhere. It's really just more magnified because of social media and everything. And what's happening is people who gravitated toward the social media and all of the media turned out to be of that ilk. So we're hearing more about it. Actually, it's about half and half, okay? It's not all one-sided, but they're the loudest.
Right.
This agenda, they're so loud, obnoxious, that they make you feel like everyone is thinking this.
Right.
And in fact, if you actually talk to them, to most progressives and liberals, they're not crazy dogmatic one way or the other. It's just the fringe that makes us believe that.
Yeah,
I mean, there are many liberals who have conservative values and many conservative people that have some liberal values, and they're just not hell-bent on it. What you find is the conservatives over here are hell-bent against the crazy radical progressives, and then the progressives, the sensible ones over here, are hell-bent against the crazy radical conservatives, because the media is telling you that everyone who's liberal wants to teach radical or something, critical race theory, and that math is racist, and that you got to defund the police, and that you got to give people universal income. But not all liberals believe that. Just like not all conservatives think that storming the Capitol was the right thing to do, but they make it sound like it is. That's what I hate. They like to lump people into these two camps to make them sound like the most ridiculous.
But more and more people are drifting towards the progressive side.
No, I don't think so. No,
I think so.
I don't think more and more people. The numbers don't bear that out in the elections.
Did you hear there was a report that they think that
look what happened to Colorado? We used to be a red state, now it's only blue.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Was states within the government? I didn't read.
Hi, Tom Martino. You're a troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. I have an important
here. K&H Home Solutions. Okay, for window siding, doors, and more. I just want to say this quickly. They're doing something special right now for today and tomorrow. That's why I'm saying this special announcement. You will get an extra 10. Now, this is an extra 10% off any special that they have if you mention Martino or Tom today and tomorrow. So if you're thinking about doing something, in addition to any other special they have running, they will add or take off another 10%, 303-421-7100. khwindows.com, 303-421-7100. Now, back to the phones, renting versus buying. So, John, I want you to contact Stephanie Thomas down in Colorado Springs, and she can help work with you from now. And she will look at you as a candidate, and she will help you decide what needs to be done. Now, up here in Colorado, we have people that do that too, up here in Denver area. But down there, Stephanie can say to you, for example, okay, John, if you're looking to buy, here's what you need to do. And then they will go through, she'll say, you need to improve here, or you need to get me some rental history from your parents, or you need to do this. And then she knows about all of the programs available. Now, I'll give out Stephanie's number in a minute. I'll also give out Ideal Home Loans, because they also have a buyer's grooming program or a borrower's grooming program, you can actually call Ideal Home Loans and say, I'm looking to buy in the future. Help me get ready. They really can actually do that from right now. Okay, and so can affordable interest mortgage. So, are you ready to take some quick numbers?
Yes.
Stephanie Thomas. Doesn't she have a 719 number, Mark, or is this her cell or what? What number do I have?
That's probably your cell.
All right. I don't know. Do I give out her cell, though?
Yeah.
All right. Here's Stephanie Thomas, the best. I mean, she's great. Colorado Springs. Now you gave me 2 numbers, so which one am I going to use, guys? Just tell me. Which one do I use? Seriously.
They were both on the referral list.
Okay. All right. Stephanie Thomas, since there's 2 numbers, I'm going to let Suze give you that off the air, okay? I'll give you one number right now. 719-687-2052. Now, Ideal Home Loans is 303-867-7000. All right? And affordable interest mortgage, 720, that's 720-895-0500. 720-895-0500. So that's affordable interest mortgage and Ideal Home Loans. You only have to work with one of them, but call them. They're great people. And say you want to get ready to buy. The same thing with Stephanie. And then Suzanne will give you her cell phone as well. See, that's what we do here. This referral list is a real deal. Those are my experts I go to find out what's best for this, what's best for that, and that's what we do. JR, what's your comment on that building collapsing in Miami?
Hey, Tom, I can't believe you didn't put these 2 together. This might be a reason. About 3 or 4 days ago, the Navy was bombing the waters around an aircraft carrier to see the shock rate, to see if they can handle the shock of the bomb.
Really?
And the magnitude was being registered on land at a 3.9 earthquake.
Was this off the shores? Wait,
where they were doing
this was off the shore of Miami?
Yes, off the shores in Florida. I'm not sure exactly if it was Miami, but I know it was close to, it had to be Miami. I read the story. I'm pretty sure it was Miami, but it was registering on land at 3.9 magnitude.
That's amazing. I wonder if anyone else has anyone in the media or any authorities put that together yet?
I haven't heard anybody yet. That's what I'm saying. I can't believe you guys didn't.
Wow.
Now, here's the question I have for you. Are buildings in Florida built by earthquake standards like they would be built in California? Because Florida.
I don't think so, actually. I don't think so. I lived there many years. I do not think so. Am I pronouncing this right? Jovita?
Yes.
Jovita, what's happening?
Well, me and my husband are looking to move into a new area, and it has Metro District tax, and I don't know anything about that. So we are just wanting to know if the Metro District tax usually goes up or goes down over time.
Wait. This is a good question. Hold on. I'll come right back to you.
Never goes down. That's where builders get all their fucking profit, if you ask me.
Where's that?
These metro districts they create. And then they pass on all the expenses to the homeowners forever.
The crash on Wadsworth and Curtin, just north of Hampton, and south on 183, crash south of Franklin at Ring Road, the forecast will be speed. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, scattered thunderstorms today, 186. Partly cloudy tonight, and 64. Then more showers tomorrow and Saturday, highs in the mid-70s. Scattered thunder showers again Sunday, Monday, with a high at 78. Right now it's 83 with your impact traffic and weather. I'm Dustin Ritchie, 630 KHAL.
You have to be a backseat driver. You need Indeed. Sponsor a job, and you'll immediately get a list of quality candidates. With resumes on Indeed, match your job description. For more at Indeed.com/credit.
When you're in trouble with the law, and that could be a DUI, that could be a serious speeding ticket, that could be assault, battery, You get into an argument with someone, listen, life's not perfect, let's face it. People are on each other's nerves now more than ever. But when you're in trouble, don't go shopping for a criminal defense attorney. Seriously, it's the worst time in the world. I shopped for you. I know Joe Lazzara. I've known him for like 30 years. You can do free consultations and flat rate pricing if you need him for anything, especially DUI nowadays. 303-429-6200. 429-6200. And you hear me talk about reverse loans. Now, no matter how you feel about a reverse loan, you need someone really good to get it for you, someone you can trust, someone that will counsel you to see if it fits. Approval Reverse is one of those lenders we know and love for many years. Joan Sullivan and her team, 303-771-3528. Rates are low, equity is high. It's an excellent time to tap that equity tax-free and to use it or have it there maybe just for emergencies. 303-771-3528.
The earthquake test, Tom, was way north. It was north of Daytona Beach. It was several hundred miles, or at least a couple hundred miles from
where this
Miami.
was, where the
yeah, it was by Daytona Beach, which is way up the coast from Miami.
Hell, if it would do that down there, it would do it way closer, way more. Right, that was one now.
It's interesting.
So when we come back, you want me to go on with the plumbing issue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you see that video and you watch it again. It's just it's.
Oh, you mean with the
slide? Oh yeah, the collapse. It's like a slice. It's just.
I guess it's possible because they have to put piers down on there. I guess a possible pier just sunk into a sinkhole. You know, but
you want me to call my friend who's an architect, see if he'll come on and talk about it? Seriously.
Well, I don't know. Well, out there, I mean, you have to know the building standards of Florida.
Oh, that's true.
You're not talking about George Costanza. You're going to bring
no, no, he was a marine biologist.
No,
but was he an architect also?
No. He wanted to be an architect, but he never really. He only was doing the marine biologist because Jerry told that lady he was a marine biologist.
Right.
He says, "You know, I always wanted to be an architect. Why did you have to be? I don't know what a marine biologist does. I didn't even know there was a job." Yeah, I'm wondering as far as the crime statistics.
Look at that labor shortage, California Pizza Kitchen.
They're shooting them. I guess the old thing is they're shooting themselves in the foot, and they are. I mean, it's going to happen.
I know people right now that aren't working because they don't want to. Because they got that unemployment goes to September.
When are they going to stop that in Colorado?
September, you said?
Well, that's what I think, September.
It's just the dumbest thing. You know what it is they look at this federal money as, hey, our state's got to get as much federal money as possible. That's one way to get it.
Well, you know, hopefully at least over the summer there'll be an influx of college and high school students that'll take these, entry-level jobs.
With this money printing, are they ever going to take the deficit seriously? I mean,
that's exactly right.
Are they just going to keep printing and printing? I mean, is the fundamentals gone?
Yeah.
Is the value driven by...
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
And why would they care about the deficit? It's getting to the point now where it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like
he's proud of it. He's proud of doing this.
And why would countries keep buying debt?
I agree. It's just amazing. It's just amazing how they think on debt. Whereas you and I and stuff, the thing is to get out of debt. Whereas the the federal government. The thing is to go farther in debt.
Well, you make a minimum payment, you never get out of debt.
Yeah. Prove that with credit cards, absolutely.
Blue Sky CBD and Blue Sky CBD.
It's insanity.
What they need to do is sell California to pay.
It's outrageous.
I'm for that. That's good thinking.
Yeah, it's great thinking.
We'll trade you straight up.
Yeah, straight up. You take our debt, you get California. And we may throw in New York City.
We'll even throw in the people.
Hey, don't throw in New York.
Hi, Tom Martino here,
303-713-TALK. Jovita, did you buy the place or are you considering buying it?
We're considering buying it.
And what kind of a district is it?
It's a metro district.
But what kind of a metro? Is it for a park? Is it for a water district? Is it for a arts? I mean, what is it for?
To be honest, I have no idea. I just know that it's metro district taxes, and they apply those taxes to all the homeowners to live in that area. I think it's for, they issue bonds for the infrastructure.
Yeah, but Jovita, there's got to be way more of a description than that. Metro districts are for everything. Is this being assessed by the metro district on your tax levy, or is this through an HOA?
Yes.
Is it the taxing district doing it directly as a government authority or the HOA?
Yes, it's the governing authority. It's a mill levy rate.
Okay.
And then there's also a $40 operation fee assessed monthly.
Okay. What you need to do is know what that is. I've never heard of just a metro district. It's a metro district for something. So you have to investigate it. Ask a title company or ask a real estate person. And then you have to go to that metro district. And here's what you have to do, because it is a government entity. You have to find out what their plans are. I mean, really, you have to know what their budget has been for the last 5 years, what they're proposing for the future. Even get into tax minutes, not tax meetings minutes, but most of the time you don't have to do that. Most of the time you're going to find out if it's a sewer and water district. You have to find out, are they at capacity? Do they anticipate making a new plan? I'm serious, because there was one time down in the it's not called this anymore. It used to be called Beverly Hills, and it was down south of Denver on I-25. There was some districts around there where people bought and were assessed some ungodly amounts of money. Like, I'm talking about, $50,000 on a property because they were in a taxing district and they had a special assessment. You could end up in very big trouble. Most of the time, it's not an issue. Taxing districts, they might be a pain in the ass here and there, but they all operate on a shoestring, most of them, and they do what they can to keep costs down. Go ahead.
This is a new area. It's a new build. So there's a new area. There's not very many roads around. So I think the tax goes for the infrastructure, for the roads, for schools and that kind of stuff.
Okay. I don't think it would go for... It does. They're not mixed. You're not allowed to mix districts. You can't have a school district and a roads district together. I mean, you can have schools for the roads for the schools, but you're making it sound like there's a general pot of money they're going to use for different things. That's not how taxing districts work. Now, if it was a bond for improvement, maybe it's a somewhat general, but usually not. I mean, let's just find out, where the hell is it? What is it called? It has to be called something other than just Metro District. Is it Metro District number something or anything like that?
Are you asking what the Metro District, the name of the Metro District is?
Yes.
Okay. I have it written down.
Good. Excellent.
I think it's called Maribel Metro District, but it was part of the Highlands Ranch Metro District number 2.
Okay, Maribel Metro and part of Highlands Ranch. Now,
right.
What do you mean by part of Highlands Ranch?
Well, it used to be Highlands Ranch Metro District, but they have formed a new entity.
Okay.
And it's called Maribel Metro
Okay,
District.
I get it. Okay. Let's see what we can find out. And you can either hold or just listen, and we'll see. Any title company might be able to tell you as well. And again, it's probably not going to be anything. I just tell people to do it out of, an abundance of caution. Now, let's talk to Paul the Waterman. Paul, on the water filtration, there's no reason. Someone said, Tom, is there really a reason for whole house filtration as opposed to just point of use drinking water? And we can explore that after the break. But in a word, is whole house filtration important?
Absolutely.
It is. Filtration, you're saying?
Yes.
Not softening, as opposed to just a drinking fountain at your sink.
Correct.
All right, we'll go over that. Because I always thought if you had point-of-use water, that would be good enough. But we'll talk about the benefits of both systems, plus take your calls. 303-713-TALK.
When we come back, I'll talk about this
We'll work it in.
Yeah, when we come back.
Let me work it in, though. It's going to be...
Nail those guys.
Nail them.
So you want to go to...
the restroom, go out the front lobby, take a right.
Yes.
Exactly. Right, go right by
Past
the
the front
elevators.
lobby on the right.
Past the elevators.
Yep, thank you.
God, I can't find the...
Mike Doyle, he's the one that... The man of action.
Now, why do you say that? You've been saying your guy's the guy. Huh?
Which guy?
This buster.
Right.
See, this is going back to 2001 now.
I was going to ask you something, Doc. I can't remember what the hell it's
I'm pretty sure in Bell Mountain, the taxes, because of that water district, or their metro district, is fucking about $20,000 a year.
A year per? No way. 20,000 a year? Oh, that was because of they just screwed up all their water, right?
I don't know. We looked there and I couldn't figure out. So we were looking, wow.
Who could afford that?
So on one side of the highway you have Keene Ranch, and at the time we were looking, a $750,000 house over there is X, whatever it is, 5 acres, whatever. Something comparable in Bell Mountain at the time was $500,000.
Which is why.
And I'm going, why the fuck is this so much cheaper? Well, because it's the gift that keeps on giving. You're paying $15,000 to $20,000 a year in taxes. And that was before Trump changed that shit. So you wouldn't have even got a deduction under Trump if you're paying that much.
Why did you need to work?
What do you mean, Mark?
I'm just looking at a rental car. The more I think about it, the more I'm getting a rental car.
Did you tell them? I'm sure none of my family's listening.
Oh, my fucking God. So her uncle calls. They're having a 4th of July party.
My uncle is 7 years older than me.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Okay.
And he's married to the cousin. They're all fucking related.
They literally made the rounds calling saying, we don't want anyone drinking at the picnic.
What?
They're fucking morality police.
Yeah, that's microaggression picnic.
Yeah, they're microaggression.
To honor Grandma and Grandpa who are dead.
Okay.
No,
really?
Please no drinking, don't bring any alcohol.
Why would you go to a 4th of July barbecue without beer?
It's the dumbest.
Why would you have any barbecue without beer, kid? That's what I
You know what I'm saying, especially...
Because they want you to live by their rules. They're the morality.
Where's this at?
Yeah, but if you don't, if they don't want to, that's fine, but why do they give a shit
it's
about it?
the fact that you're being, like, told, you know, like, maybe we weren't going to plan to drink and now we want to.
So
I wasn't going to bring anything, but now I am.
So why do they care if you do it, though?
I haven't seen my mother in over 10 years.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
So,
yeah, but Mark, I know religion like it better as well as anyone, and I don't know anything in religion
just like
I know
that controls other people.
Well, first of all, the religion she's talking about are the few chosen. How many are they?
124,000.
So there's 144,000 of them that are guaranteed a place in heaven.
So you're trying
where
to get
you
in?
suckers aren't going anywhere.
Oh, you're trying to jump in line.
Wait, my mom said he was God's I've been arguing
Everybody
that ever
knows I
since.
was God's son.
So what do they call that one? It's the it's not the apocalypse. It's what is it?
It's pretty much going there is like the apocalypse.
The rapture.
The rapture,
right.
absolutely.
Let me explain something. Look, listen, okay? So there are people we don't agree with. I'm not up for criticizing people's beliefs, okay?
No,
I'm
but
just
this is
not up
my
for it. I'm not going to
family,
even
that's
fucking
all.
discuss it. I'm not up for it. You know, that's disrespectful, and if that's what they want to believe, we can think it's crazy. But then you can take anything out of context you want.
Well,
They
the
do it all.
morality is
They
crazy.
do it all the time. I know. People do it all the time. It gives a bad name to people who truly believe and try to accurately portray it. I do, but what pisses me off is there's people that do that.
They don't think Catholics
You will
are
have-
going. They think Catholics are evil.
Yeah, I know. Listen. There are people
It's
who
so
believe,
fringe.
as whatchamacallit said, what's his name? George Carlin. There are some people who believe when you die, your soul goes to a garage in Buffalo.
One can only hope.
Did you ever hear his album on religion?
We saw George Carlin. He's amazing. He was
I believe
amazing.
that. What am I going to say? I just have no. I'm not
I
going to
know,
get
I
involved.
know where they're
with your
getting the
madness.
144,000, which is funny. It's in Revelation, but it's so ridiculously out of context. But tell me then, millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people are created to be destroyed.
Yes, only them. They're the ones that got it figured out.
Well, that's what.
All right.
So, because you're slow to the
How
party.
did you figure it out? How do I know? So all these little children,
They know it.
Well, Tom, is that any different than the story of Noah?
well,
I mean, God destroyed everybody in the world except for Noah and his immediate family. It was the same thing, right?
was it his immediate family?
Yeah.
Well, what I never got is two of every species, because there's like a zillion species
No,
out
there
there.
aren't a billion.
Two flies, two spiders.
Yeah, but they weren't talking about that. You're talking about like
Two
of
of
each
kind.
phylum, basically.
Mammals.
No, but like
Fish.
there were certain. Yeah, fish would be only. That's fish, and then because actually it's. If you read it, it's each kind according to its kind. Which
Oh,
is,
okay. So one, like two reptiles.
Like,
Yeah,
or horse.
now would you have to have two reptiles because they lay eggs?
Well, you
Well, they
still
have to
have
be
to
fertilized.
One's a frog and one's an alligator. They have to be
So
pregnant,
wait, you got your chicken,
right?
you got your hen,
That's what they're talking
and you
about.
got your rooster.
That's what- But the point is, no one's family could not have built that ark.
How do you know? They could have been the craftsmen from hell.
So, Sammy, the only religious leader of our time that has never had a controversy or a skeleton come out of the closet.
Who is?
The only one that's never had a skeleton.
Who are you talking about?
Billy Graham.
Billy Graham.
Oh,
he really did.
I know.
He's a good guy.
The only one that never had.
I've never heard
And
of it.
during his death,
He was a good
you
guy.
knew the media, the left was looking for something to sling.
There was nothing.
There's nothing.
I don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
I can't remember one.
Yeah.
When I lived in Oklahoma, we were 4 miles from the Hands of Prayer. Oral Roberts was in the paper all the time. Anytime back in the day, anytime his college or his hospital was in trouble, man, he'd be out there. He'd be right on TV saying, "If I don't get X amount of
No,
money."
he wasn't the one that said, if I don't get it, I'm going to die. He didn't say,
I'm pretty
no,
sure he
that
was, man.
that was Oral Roberts.
That was Oral Roberts.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they ever said. That's what
I
he said.
thought you said Billy Graham.
No, we lived about 4 miles from there.
What would name your kid Oral these days?
Well, it wasn't these days.
I know.
It was back in your time.
Right.
Breaking news, weather, sports, and more from our community. That's khal.com/newsletter.
Or what's the other one? Oral Wells? What the hell was it? The
Orson Welles?
Orson.
Okay. I just don't like throwing everybody.
Bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now,
You got to
Tom
get used to
Martino.
that new intro, Tom.
Yes, I do. I want to jump the gun, by the way, and wow, I want to really have some fun with that, and thank Steve Moss Agency for that. Steve Moss Creative. He created that. It was beautiful, and he does a whole bunch of stuff. If you ever have to get in touch with him. So listen, let's talk about your life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Deputy Doc called on something, and he's very frustrated about it. We're going to talk about it. And let me lay it out first. I'm trying to get a handle on this, but it all happened with Choice Home Warranty. Now, believe it or not, Lena did not have a problem with her home warranty company. Actually, as home warranty companies go, from what we could see, they did a pretty good job for her. They had paid for repairs in the past, and she had an issue currently with, or not currently, but recently, it was with her garbage disposal, a drainage problem. So they had to unclog the drainage from the garbage disposal, and Choice Home Warranty sent out Bradley Plumbing. Now, here's the deal. Warranty companies often have contracts with their own vendors, and they take care of the bill. But they want their own vendors because they want to make sure they're not going to get ripped off. So Bradley Plumbing went out and took care of the problem. That's good, right?
So far, so good.
Right. And then Choice Home Warranty is supposed to pay the $80 bill. She paid her copay. So Lena gets notice of a lien, or that there's going to be a lien.
An intent to lien.
That's notice of a lien.
Right.
So, or of the intent that they're going to file it, and she gets upset and says to Choice Home Warranty, "Why are you refusing to pay Bradley Plumbing?" And Choice says, "We're not refusing to pay Bradley Plumbing. Our contract is with Bradley Plumbing, and we will pay according to the contract, but Bradley Plumbing will not accept payment." So now Bradley Plumbing is adding to this $2,500 in legal fees, and they're going after the homeowner for it.
Are we sure, Doc, that what this company isn't saying is the warranty company's only willing to pay us $100. We did $200 worth of work?
Hold on. I want to say this. The issue of payment and how much, everyone agrees on. Bradley agrees.
Wow.
Bradley agrees they're owed about $80 in the plumbing job. Choice Home Warranty agrees they should pay it and are willing to do it.
Correct.
Lena paid her copay. The only disagreement is between Choice and Bradley on how they get paid.
Wow.
And because of that, Bradley is now going after the homeowner. So when Deputy Doc called Bradley, he found out what is the conflict between Choice and Bradley, and why would Bradley go after the homeowners? And I'm going to sum that part up after Doc tells us the conflict. So go ahead, Doc.
Well, here's the conflict. I spoke to both the representative at Choice who deals with vendor issues and Bradley. Bradley says that, well, let me say, the Choice said that when Bradley signed the contract to be a vendor, they agreed to accept paper checks as payment. When I spoke to Bradley wouldn't speak to me, but they did email me and say that they only will accept email or online transfers. They will not accept the paper check from Choice.
So Bradley is saying the only way you can pay us
is online.
And
Choice is saying, no, you signed a contract when you became a vendor that you would accept the paper check. So that's where the conflict lies.
Now, we don't know if for sure Choice's contract says that, but that's what they say. They're saying, look, Bradley refuses to accept our check. Bradley is saying the only way we will do business is if you pay online, presumably with an ACH or credit card. Now, why does Bradley, by the way, has a right to request payment in a certain way, but if they signed a contract with Choice saying they would accept paper checks, then they should accept them. But the whole point is, no matter what, Bradley should not go after the homeowner, but Bradley says this is a contractual issue, and we're taking care of it, and it's none of your business, in other words, right? Is that what they're saying?
Correct.
I mean, what was their latest? It was kind of nasty, I thought, the email. What was it? And by the way, this just tells me, and I'm serious, I don't care how good of a plumber they are. And yes, I am giving my opinion right now. I think Bradley is a company to avoid. Yes, I do. And the reason is because of the difficulty they are giving this homeowner, knowing full well that Choice is willing to pay. Now, they're just using the homeowner as a weapon. They're just hurting the homeowner, and it's wrong. And now they're assessing a $2,500 fee on top of it to the homeowner, and it's just wrong. So what did Bradley say in their final text?
Basically, they said, take me to court. That we have
if she doesn't like it, she can go to court.
That's basically what they said.
So the easy thing here would be for the homeowner just to pay it online and then get the check from the warranty company. But I don't understand why this plumbing company is being so
Mark,
tough.
I swear to God, I never thought of that. Hold on. She can go on and pay it. Is that right?
There's no argument.
Hold on. Wait, if she goes on and pays the $80... Oh, wait.
There's no argument
they did discuss that.
There's no argument about the $82.
Now, even if that did happen, the $80, even if that did happen, they want another $2,500 because they had to hire an attorney.
That's the issue, Mark. The homeowner is willing to pay the $82. The issue is the $2,500 that is causing Bradley to threaten to put a lien on the property.
Isn't that terrible?
I swear, it's one of those things we're missing something.
Well,
it sounds insane.
But we're not. We talked to all parties. Bradley is saying we're owed the money.
For 2 weeks, right?
And it's
ain't 5 years old.
Right.
The thing happened...
2 weeks.
The repair was done on June 7th.
Let's find the owner of this place. Let's find the owner of Bradley's.
I spoke to Josh, who is the owner. He would not talk to me, and we did have some messages on the phone, but he will not talk to me. And basically, he said, "I'm done talking to you. Let them take me to court."
Well, let that. Man, it's insanity.
It is insanity.
So I think, listen, I don't think Bradley is wrong for even.
Yeah, they are.
Hold on. Wait. Let me say this. I don't think they're wrong for even getting an attorney involved if they thought they needed to. And now, though, they know the homeowner wasn't to blame. They know that. So to go after the homeowner is just plain mean, and it tells me it is not. It is absolutely, positively not a business I would ever recommend, ever. That's the way I feel.
Let them come on and explain themselves if they choose to.
Now, they don't have to explain. They have a right to do it. It's just, in my opinion, wrong. Now, legally, they probably have a right to do it as far as they did work at that home. That home is the one that raised the issue. If they can't get paid, they always go back to that home because that's where their lien right is. I'm not saying they don't have a right to do it or it's illegal. I'm saying it just doesn't feel right. It feels wrong. It feels immoral. It feels unethical. It sucks. And I think that shows me that Bradley has no heart. And believe it or not, I want a little heart when it comes to business.
Tom, not only that, but when I first tried to contact them, they thought it was with a different customer, and they thought I was trying to intervene on behalf of a customer that we never even heard from.
I know. That's because they probably... I was looking them up to see what their ratings are, but I thought they probably had good ratings. I remember looking before, I think. But you need a heart-on in business. You need to have it. You need to have a heart. And anyone who doesn't have a heart on their business should not be in business. You gotta have heart, Bradley Plumbing has excellent ratings. Out of 58 reviews, they got a full 5 stars, 4.7. So obviously, they're making a lot of people happy. So I want to be fair here.
And
however, I just think their business practice in this particular case, it sucks, and I wouldn't use them.
Right, and there was no complaint about the quality of the job or anything.
No, nobody has a complaint about that. They don't have to go after this damn homeowner for $2,500. Let them fight it out with Choice.
It's a measly $82 bill.
Yeah, and I don't know, how long was this bill outstanding to begin with?
Only the work was done on June 7th.
Anyway, Michael, what about you, Michael? What do you have to say, sir?
Hi, Tom. I just want to say how powerful your name is.
How's that, sir?
I was working at Home Depot, and I quit because my fiance's mother was sick. And I've been fighting him for a month to get my last paycheck. Thursday, I mentioned your name. I said, I'm not calling you no more. Tom Martino's going to call you. 20 minutes I got a call from Human Resources, and Friday morning my money was on my card.
Well, that's nice that we could actually make a difference. And I appreciate you telling us, sir. Really, I really do. So thank you. Thank you for listening. So, Michael, what are you going to do now as far as work?
I've been doing door dashing right now.
All right. Do you like it?
It's all right. A lot of miles on the car, but it pays the bills.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you, Michael. We got more coming up on Tom Martino.
Hello, this is Bill Lynn.
Man.
My job is people ask. I could be no worse.
You can save up to $5,000 off of MSRP right now on these special units while they last. Come see us today at
That's almost like a scam of just getting to, Oh, absolutely.
Get Found Fast. That is the name of a company that helps you get found fast. Now, what they do is work with your website to make sure your website is get found fast. Now, here's the bottom line. Your website has to perform for your business to perform. That's the first thing people do, but is it working? You can't just judge by visitors, not even by sales, because you don't know. You could be doing more. There could be an untapped market. You want to know your website is found. You want to know it's organized. You want to know it loads quickly. You want to know what people think about it. And that's what you get with Get Found Fast. All of those things. They'll do a free analysis. Go to their website to find out more. We use them. I use them at referralist.com and 303consumer.com. I use them. You should too. Getfoundfast.com. I'll give you another website where you make an appointment for floor coverings. Simplyfloorsinc.com. That's INC. That's where you're going to find Buddy and Karen Mitchell's operation for floor coverings. They have low overhead, and they have a lower profit margin, and they simply pass on savings to you. They're part of a big buying group nationwide, so they buy floor coverings the same way the big boxes do, but they pass savings on to you. Plus, they have better installers and better service. Find out for yourself. Better prices, better service, better everything. Simplyfloorsinc.com. Make your own appointment. So they want to take away Giuliani's law license now.
Yeah, because of election interference, and they're saying that he knowingly, spread false information. So they're suspending him.
They did? God almighty.
Just New York, though, right? New York, yeah. So why shouldn't New York be sold?
It's a witch hunt.
Well, it is, but the point is that they're opening the door now. I mean, it just...
recommending ideal home loans. When rates go down, you get refinanced free of charge.
It's scary what this country is coming to.
Well, like I said, it shows you if you put someone in power in the government, they could use it incorrectly or for their own purpose.
There's a lot of people. There's 74 million people. The majority of those 74 believe the election was stolen. They really do. I have customers in northern Colorado, and majority of them think the same thing. You talk to people, and they open up, and they just don't trust America.
Here, releasing a Colorado's mechanics lien. If you've been paid, you would be required to file a lien release within 10 days, or you get you have to pay $10 per day until the claim is released. So if they just paid him, they'd have to release the thing, and then how would they? Tom, how can they say you got $2,500 of lawyer fees? That's a total separate thing.
If he refuses to accept payment, that's insane.
I don't think that would ever go. I think when they go to perfect the lien, or not perfect it, even the court for the lien, I think now they could screw up his credit. They go after him for slander of credit. Huh?
They keep going to foreclosure. If you get a lien against someone.
Well, they have to perfect it. That takes. Just talking, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, but any lien based upon what your contract is, you can force HOAs in some situations, in condos or People, if they put a lien, it could cause people to go into mortgage defaults. I've heard a couple cases.
Helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it could be easier.
Does it violate the terms of the loan? I don't know. I went there for that.
Well, it's ridiculous because they won't accept payment from the homeowner.
Right.
But they want the $2,500. I thought, that'll end up going, I guess it would go to court.
Well, that's insane.
The homeowner is willing to pay.
Right. That's what's so.
Right. And Choice is willing to pay. It's a freaking $82 bill.
I will guarantee you there's no lawyer getting that money.
No, of course not. It doesn't cost $2,500 to file a lien.
Right.
Right. And that's probably what they're going to say, but we had to pay our attorneys to file a lien. Well, I'm glad we gave them bad publicity at least.
Well, I think they need to be on the streets. If this goes through like this, they absolutely need to be on. I don't care what the reviews are. I'm sure the reviews are, in my opinion, fake.
Our advice is always in your best interest. Second, we have a dedicated advisory team. Real people you can call anytime you've got questions. Finally, we have a proven planning process. Our 7 personal
Oh, put the money here that says guys asking, what's the number for Bradley?
What are you talking about?
Bradley Plumbing.
This report is sponsored by
Oh, we'll say, I'll ask you what number to call to make sure you have the right one.
Do you want it? I have it.
Yeah, I'm going to ask.
Spot Palace.
Oh, ask Doc.
Has been the trusted source for all your.
I have Josh's number, who's the owner.
Is it 366-3582?
Yes.
That's the main number.
Okay, that's the main number.
Good, we don't have calls. I want to get into water. Hi, Tom Martino here. Remember, I'm going to talk about why you need whole house filtration or why it's a good idea. I think having it at the kitchen fountain is enough, but who knows? Hey, listen, I'm gonna find out. I do want to mention Harris Family Law. Now, Harris Family Law for your family law issues can really help out because Harris does collaborative law, which means they actually engage the other party in a non-confrontational way to agree not to file any motions and to work everything out. Really, I'm serious. They save money for people. Plus, they do unbundled services, which is where they will let you do some of the work yourself, and they'll handle whatever you need them to handle, or they'll do the whole thing. 303-515-5000. 515-5000. HarrisFamilyLaw.com. So filtration is for drinking, I would think. So I have a filtration system that I love. It was under $1,000, and it's at my sink, and it doesn't require power. It is water powered. So what does that mean? When you turn on the water flows through there, right? And then it goes through 3 filters. And I come out with great drinking water. I don't buy bottled water anymore. But, Paul, why would I need that through the whole house? And, by the way, Paul's not a high-pressure guy. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. Again, he has the lowest prices anywhere. But whole house filtration. Why do I need that for flushing toilets and taking showers?
Well, for taking showers, absolutely, because of the sanitation or disinfection that they use in our water is a chloramine. It's a chloramine mixed with ammonia. A lot of our, communities have different levels in the water, measured by a part per million. I use a swimming pool test kit. And when it gets higher than 1 part per million, it creates skin irritation. And a lot of folks, can become allergic to it.
And they don't even know it.
And then...
so you really notice filtered water in showers?
Absolutely.
Or baths?
Absolutely. I could give you soft water, but because...
brushing your teeth, I guess, too, right?
Right. Now, I give you soft water, but the high chlorine content can cause dry skin.
Okay, so you're saying that filtered water. So can you filter and condition water?
Yeah, absolutely. See, I call conditioned water the filtration process after softening. So you have a water softener, your point of use, water softener for the whole entire house.
Then
right?
what?
Okay. Then you go through the whole house carbon filtration that attacks the total chlorine content. That's conditioning. That also improves the quality of water, and it helps the reverse osmosis.
Wait. You're talking about now conditioning, right?
Yep. I'm talking.
Okay.
Yep.
So once conditioning is done, you then filter it?
Yeah, then you run it through, if you run it through the reverse osmosis as your drinking water system, you're allowing those filters to last longer and focus on other organic contaminants.
So a whole house filtration system will give me drinking water on every faucet.
Correct.
Good drinking water.
Yes.
Okay. So you do whole house softening or conditioning for under $2,000. You do whole house filtration under $2,000.
Correct.
So is that $4,000 then?
Right. So
Okay.
you're looking. So what you're looking at right now, with our sale going on, we've done since we've been part of your show. Our Space Saver system is $18.95. Our whole house conditioner is $18.95. So you're looking at doing both for under $4,000, and that's a lot of price competitive than what you said earlier.
Well, yeah, because some of them charge that just for conditioning.
That's it.
So if it was your house, you would do both.
Correct.
Okay. However, I want to tell people that in my house, I chose to go with filtration for drinking. I don't really feel Denver water's that bad. And I went for whole house drinking, filtered drinking water at the kitchen. That's where I fill up my kids' stuff, and we fill up bottles, or we fill up a drinking, cup or whatever. Now, as far as conditioning, I'm doing my house for conditioning. So you don't have to go with both. I mean, he's not the kind that scares you into it. So do you test the water first to find out?
Yes, we do that same test that we did with you. We do the hardness test, we do the total chlorine content test, a TDS test, and then we go over those results. There's a lot of issues in Colorado water. Colorado water is a mixed bag of nuts. I've always said that. There's silica in the water. Silica is found up north. It looks like hard water, but it's not. It's silica. It takes a different filtration method. So what we do is we come on and do a full analysis, and then we sit down and ask the homeowner what is it exactly about their water that they want to improve, what bothers them the most, and then we come up with a solution to fit their individual needs. It's not a cookie cutter solution.
Yeah, but I would want something. Here's what I would want, and I think everybody wants, and we need to depend on you for that. I want to use less soap, make sure I don't have any residual in my clothes or my bedspreads or my towels. That would be just a good conditioned water, right?
That'd be a water softener, absolutely.
Now, you have low maintenance system. So what does that mean, low maintenance?
It means all they have to do is every 4 to 6 months, based on usage, add the detergent, which is water softening salt.
And the reason we say that's the detergent, that's what's used to clean the filtration. It's not in the water itself. It doesn't add salt to water, right?
Correct.
Okay. So how is that used, the salt?
So what salt is, it's converted to a saline solution, and it's the rinsing agent. So after the water softener filters so many gallons of water based on how hard the water is, then that saline solution rinses the filtration media, and it cleans it.
Okay, so you use the salt in the water to clean the filters.
Correct.
And then that water is wastewater after you clean the filter.
Right, and that's what goes down the drain.
But none of the salt goes into the drinking water.
Correct.
Okay. So then when you have a softening system, you don't have high sodium content.
Correct.
Okay. And, of course, when you are looking at filtration, what basically comes out the other end? When you actually filter that water, is it like distilled water?
It's not like distilled water. Distilled water is more like reverse osmosis water. But what it is, it's free of minerals, right, the hardness. We eliminate the total chlorine content, which is a chloramine. And we can also effectively attack other elements. But, again,
it's way healthier to drink.
Well, absolutely. It's not on par as bottled water, because bottled water is like reverse osmosis water, and the filtration process is at a slower flow rate.
So what are you saying, that bottled water is still more pure?
Right. Bottled water, and it all depends, because bottled water is not regulated. So
okay.
It all depends.
But in general, bottled water is good quality water.
Right.
Okay. And the filtration water you get from your system at the faucet is close.
Yes, I personally think it's better because of, how the filtration is a 3-stage. A reverse osmosis membrane is the meat and potatoes of an RO system, and it's wrapped in layers. It's like a roll of paper towels, right?
So you have 3 filters in your system.
Right. You have
okay. How often do I have to change those filters?
Once a year.
Oh, say, so I actually, how do I change them? Do they have a changeable filter? I unscrew it and put them in?
Right. So what it is in your system, the filter and the housing is all one. So you just go to a quick disconnect, discard it, and then, connect the new filter.
Do I get those from you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we got to comment on something else here. This is Bill. He wants to comment on the Bradley plumbing thing. Again, I want to recap that very quickly. A home warranty company went out to a customer's, sent Bradley out to a customer's home. Bradley has an agreement with the home warranty company. And then there was a dispute on how the home warranty company was going to pay Bradley. The homeowner paid their copay, but Bradley would not accept a check from the home warranty company. They told the home warranty company they had to go online to pay it. By the time this whole thing was settled for the extra $80, Bradley threw on another $2,500 in legal fees and now is going after the homeowner, which I think is just plain mean. Go ahead, Bill. What's your comment?
Well, my comment is, Tom, I thought you kind of just let it go. And this is one of the classic cases of a company bullying somebody that's totally innocent in this situation.
Right, even though they can legally do it. Right.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, so they're being intimidated and possibly going to have a lien thrown on their house when there's got to be something that somebody could do on this. Either countersue this company or go after them because that bill has been paid, and if they issue this lien, there has to be some way to. I mean, this is a classic bully situation.
It is.
People can be bullied with
It
liens.
is, and I think Bradley Plumbing, I think they're a bunch of bullies, and that's why I wouldn't use them. Yeah. Here's the thing. Somebody said, well, Tom, if they have good ratings, they must be doing great jobs. I want to say something about that, okay? I want to talk about that coming up because a lot of people use that as an excuse. Well, they've done such a great job so far. Hold on.
Colorado Banter, Granite Liquidators, about a minute. Radio station available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by your local Ford store.
From the Red Sports Traffic Center, pretty quiet right now on your drive around the metro area. An accident on eastbound 270 approaching I-76 has been cleared, but it is still slow on that eastbound drive near Culver City. Also seeing the typical volume on the westbound side of 270. I-25 sluggish in both directions heading into downtown. Also still flowing on westbound I-70.
I will say, sitting here, the time goes by fast.
31
It does.
partly cloudy this afternoon.
Well, I was going to ask you, Doc, I gave you those 7 CBD things. Did it help your back at all?
I couldn't tell. It helped my shoulder a little bit.
Oh, did?
Yeah.
One thing I've seen on that, I'm like saying if there's a spot on my foot, I have a pad that tore loose and stuff. But it takes a while. It's not, it might take 2 weeks of doing that.
Well, it seemed to help my shoulder a little bit. Helped my golf game anyway.
I love Colorado Pain Care because I got immediate relief. It wasn't a cure, but immediate relief. What does that mean? They went right to work. They had studied my case before I even got there when I started answering my past medical questions. Then when I got there, I got an injection to get me immediate relief, which helped me get into physical therapy to get more relief and then a more permanent procedure. What I'm saying is they don't waste a lot of time. They don't dilly-dally. These people are great. Colorado Pain Care. Get your life back. You don't have to live with pain. 303-GOT-PAIN. 303-GOT-PAIN, all major insurance, and they're dedicated to getting you out of pain. ColoradoPainCare.com, 303-GOT-PAIN. You hear me talk about contractors, the Art of Granite, Genesis, all kinds of people that do kitchens, baths, and all that. Did you know that if you're going to do a home improvement project, you can buy your stone first, and you can buy it wholesale for the same price any contractor can buy it. You get the same contractor pricing at Granite Liquidators. Do you know how cool that is? Now, why would you go to Granite Liquidators? Because your contractor can go pick it up from Granite Liquidators, but you get to shop for stone first based on a large slab, not a tiny sample. Then you get to go out and shop after that for everything to match it. Here's what I like. They have granite. They have quartzite. They are quartzite. They have also marble and any other slabs that you want. They probably have. You can shop, put your name on it when you buy it, and they store it there until your contractor's ready. Then you can coordinate everything else. Do it the smart way. Everything you need to get started. GraniteLiquidators.com.
I wish I knew more about how they do the review and stuff, because they do not got good reviews with Yelp. They're 2-star out of Yelp, but only 6 reviews.
Yelp is a complaining board, though. I mean, it's...
Well, so is Google, huh?
Well, Google...
And it always seems the companies that have Google reviews on their website, they're almost always good. And I'm wondering how much that can be manipulated.
I think it's manipulated. Tom, you said it best. If you got perfect reviews, it's got almost phone. I mean, if you can buy Twitter followers, I'm sure you can get somebody going out there and get these good reviews.
Well, and I know you can do the buying. I'm just wondering, can they even get rid of the bad ones?
I'm not perfect. We've had a couple, who were upset with us, but I respond.
That's the big thing, is we just responded.
I mean, it's sometimes we make a mistake. I don't know who's the perfect company.
And it's possible this Bradley just had a new owner come in or something, and it doesn't sound like it. And they said this is a new way to make money. That 2,400, that really rubs me the wrong way.
So Tom, I got to ask, how did you get the idea to do this show? I mean, how did this?
It was many, many years ago in another city. I was doing the news, and I had a consumer problem, and I wrote about it in the newspaper. And how I won. Somebody else wrote to me and said they had the same problem. And then I answered them in a column, so it became on a newspaper column. Then when I was working in radio and TV news, when I got in radio, I started taking these problems when it was a slow news day, and I would go on and read some of them, question and answers. Then people called me and said, what would you do in this case? So then my boss said, yeah, you can take some live calls. So I started taking calls. And basically, it just evolved, man. There was nothing like it. Nothing.
So I don't... You never thought about going, syndicating nationwide on something like this?
Well, I was syndicated for many years. For many, many years. And then 9/11 happened. And a lot of syndicators, oh, yeah, like either, you remember Dr. What was the...
Dr.
Laura, she got...
Yeah, she went to Sirius XM.
A lot of us were bounced after 9/11, and then it was just not worth it, I swear to God. Because they were on political talk binge for everything.
Yeah.
And no one thought, why is it, guys, when I put a bio... Oh, you don't know anything about Instagram, do you? I try to put a bio in here, and I swear to God, it will not let me do a bio.
Anything more in that building labs?
Just like that shooting in Arvada, geez, it took them a long time
to release the truth. Yeah, I mean, they kept quiet. I think it's all because of, how that Good Samaritan got killed. They wanted to...
So the guy shot the cop. The Good Samaritan chased him and killed the guy. And then the cop came and shot the Good Samaritan.
That's kind of how it's playing out.
John Calvera. Enjoy John.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Is this a new call on line 1?
I wasn't sure if you were done.
Well, I kind of took his comment, and he made a really good comment. This is a classic case of bullying, and I believe they are bullying. So I agree. Bullying meaning the homeowner paid their part of the bill. The home warranty company wants to pay their part of the bill or wanted to, but the plumbing company would not accept their check. Now, by the way, a plumbing company has a right to refuse checks and to ask for a credit card or to ask for a certain kind of payment. They have a right to do that. But the way it went down with Bradley did not set well with me, and here's why. Choice Home Warranty has a contract, they said, with Bradley Plumbing. Now, I hope they're telling the truth, but that's between them. They swear that they have a contract with Bradley, and Bradley agreed to accept checks. Bradley is saying the only way we will get paid is online. So Choice did not immediately pay Bradley Plumbing. They had a dispute. Meanwhile, it went way beyond the balance of $80. Now, there's $2,500 in legal fees because Bradley got an attorney involved, according to them, and they're going to put a lien on Lena's house. Lien on Lena. Now, Deputy Doc talked to Choice Home Warranty and Bradley Plumbing through text, and basically Bradley is being a bully. So, bottom line is, Bradley Plumbing, I wouldn't use them. Now, I want to make this very clear. I'm doing this on my opinion based on my freedom to vote with my dollars. And I choose not to vote for people and not to use people that give consumers a hard time. Life is too rough right now. You know what? There are too many good companies. We don't have to waste our time with Bradley. If a small issue like this makes them go rabid and go after a consumer for $2,500 over an $80 bill that the home warranty company was willing to pay in the beginning, they're just plain mean. They're just plain mean. What number did you reach them at? Was it you said, how did you text their office? I don't get it.
Well, I called, and then I got a text from the. I spoke to him initially. He thought I was calling about a different.
Okay, but what's the phone number for Bradley?
The phone
People
number
are asking
is
that.
720.
Okay, is this their phone number? Their
This
regular
is,
phone
yes,
number?
720-366-3582.
So that is their phone number.
That's their phone number.
And when you called that number, 720-366-3582.
I spoke to Josh. Well,
You spoke to Josh?
No, Josh spoke to me. I could not get a word in edgewise. He ranted and raved, and then when
Did he sound upset?
Yes.
Okay.
He sounded very agitated, and when I said, "Can I get a word in edgewise? Can I tell you something?" he hung up. And after that, we just communicated via text.
And he was just nasty from the beginning. And then, did you bring out the fact that this dispute is between the two of them and not the consumer?
Yes, and he basically said, "Well, I have every right to go after the consumer because."
That's right. Legally, probably they do.
Right, and that was his final thing was basically, "We'll take it to court."
So now they're going to go after the homeowner. That sucks. Hey, Suze, call. Do you have Lena's number? Could you call Lena and see, Deputy Doc, see if she heard from them today?
I will do that right now.
All right. Meanwhile, folks, we do have lines open. Many times the lines wane toward the end, but we can get your calls in for sure with a problem, question, or complaint. Or if you have any questions for our water expert, Paul, the waterman, at waterpros.net. I didn't give that out. I've been talking mainly to him about everything, but not giving out his contact, and that's the easiest thing to remember, waterpros.net. Right now, so on the system for drinking water at a fountain or at a sink, you change those filters once a year. About what do they cost?
You're looking, on average, about $167 a year.
Oh, wow. That's nothing.
Well, and then if you have a water softener, those filters can last you 3 to 5 years, though.
Really?
So, yeah, because, they're being, fed soft water, so then they can focus on the chemical, contamination, organic, contamination reduction that we're looking for. It's what I mentioned a while back. Water is not 100% H2O. And so there, as our community and city grows, it's reusable water. There's a lot of other, contaminants inside. So if you feed an RO system soft water, it can do, a better job, and your filters will last longer.
But certainly if we're on city water, It's not bad water, right?
No, it's not bad water. I mean, you can't say that, but, you know, you have to use the, you know, common sense is, you know, think about where the water comes from a municipality. You know, especially Denver Metro. Look how fast we're growing. There's only so much water, the same water resources. So when water is being used and whatever is flushed down the toilet or, you know, run down the sink, that goes back to where?
Well, I understand that. That sounds disgusting, but in reality, I mean, water purification is, you know, these plants do clean the water.
Well, they clean the water as far as the waste, but not chemical clean. They can't. It would be too expensive. That process.
You're saying they do not filter out chemicals?
Correct.
No, come on. Wait. Look, then you're saying it's simply dilution?
Exactly correct.
But what if it gets higher than safe levels?
Then that's when your responsibility, your municipality by law has to publish its water analysis report.
So that's why Denver sent out those letters that there was too much lead.
Exactly right.
Huh?
The letters, pipes are changing.
Yeah, it's due to pipes, but still, there was too much lead.
Well, look at what happened in out east. You know, there was several notifications regarding water quality.
Holly, what is your question about for Water Pros?
We're just finishing up a new build, and we had to put in our own well. We put in a filter when it comes from the well, and we have a water softener and reverse osmosis at the sink with a Renovations on-demand heater. Will the water softener impact the ability for Renovations to work appropriately?
No, the water softener will help. And Renovations, if you go to their website, Renovations will add an additional warranty extended to a total of 11 years if you're supporting it with the water softener.
Renovations prefers water softening.
Okay. So are we, from an overall perspective, our plumber was trying to get us to do multiple filters as it came from the well. Is there a reason for that?
Well, hold on. You should have had a special system with a well to begin with, and we can talk about that, but you got to hold on.
Now we get all these damn questions.
Hey, Paul, what harm does silica do?
Silica creates the hard water buildup. It looks like hardness, but it's an opposite anion, so you have to treat it with a different medium.
No. Okay. What harm does it do if I have water that has silica in it?
It's just going to give you water spots and build up on your faucets.
How about drinking it?
It won't harm.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
I can fill in Janice. I mean, if you want to, that's fine.
Yeah, I got it.
So Lena has not heard from either Joyce or Bradley today.
See, again, they got to take her to court.
They suck.
And I think the judge would throw a damn out.
Well, we'll do.
I think she should pay him, try to collect the money from whatever, and let them try to put it
Or underwriter, talk to Westera.
Because if she pays in full, they have to take the lien off.
You can help build it. Go to WesteraCU.com.
Let's talk about QCColorado.com, which is the site that you find out about the QC whole house fan that I have in my home. I absolutely love it. In fact, I have it in 2 homes, and I save on air conditioning. The best example is where I'm saving up to 90% on my air conditioning bill and about 80% in the other home. Here's the bottom line. The air conditioner works less because you're bringing in cool, crisp air from early morning or evenings to help cool down the house with massive quantities of air, way more than your air conditioner can do. Then your air conditioner simply works less. When you turn your air on, that hot air all goes to the top and the cool air goes to the bottom, so QC throws out all that hot air. And if you keep it running all night, you'll have cool, wonderful air. It takes less than 2 hours to install. No inside wiring to the walls. It's all remote controlled. I love them. 303-800-3419. Make your own appointment. 303-800-3419. All right. Genesis Total Exteriors, I've been touting for years. A dependable company for everything in your home, all home improvements, outside and in. And now they're doing Genesis Solar, CO.com. Listen to this, a free site evaluation for solar efficiency, which takes 20 minutes, and they can do it remotely. And a 25-year warranty on equipment and performance. No money down, no cash out of pocket ever with their financing. All pricing up front, and you can depend on it. You own it, not a lease, no hassle when you sell. Find me a great solar company. GenesisSolarCO.com, 720-667-4760. 720-667-4760.
All right, I'm going to tell you about a deal so good I want you to sit down. I don't want you to hear it and you pass out because it's so unbelievable. It's a real deal. It's from a great company that's been on our referral list for over 10 years, and here it is. You get a new air conditioner, you get a new furnace, you get a whole home humidifier, you get 5 years no interest, and all of it starting at $8,500. You realize there's other companies that sell just the AC for that? It's 888heating.com. You have to check these guys out. They're great people, like I said, on the referral list forever. And if something breaks, guess what? They'll come out and actually give you a price to fix something. They're not going to try to shove a new system down your throat. It's a great company. Check them out on referral list or give them a call, 888-HEATING or 888heating.com.
Attention timeshare owners. Did some high-pressure salesperson twist your arm into...
A couple of things I just wanted to tell you for today and for future. If by chance any of the calls are holding over for you, I take their number and text them to you so you can get a call in and answer their questions and that kind of thing. And then also, I have to close up the studio for Michael Brown when we're done, but if you give me a couple minutes to wait out here, I'll be happy to walk you down and help you get out of this building, because we're probably locked in too.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Timeshare Freedom Group's Freedom Process.
Appreciate your hospitality.
What's that?
Appreciate your hospitality.
Incredible, overpriced, and unavailable timeshare.
Is this the first time you've been in? Probably, huh?
Yeah. Experience canceling timeshares worldwide.
Yeah, because you started up during the pandemic with us.
100% money back guarantee. Start the Freedom Process now by calling Timeshare Freedom.
That'd be crazy doing this out of your house.
Oh, it was fun doing that at Tom's house.
I hated it.
You were never there.
No, I hated doing it from home.
Oh.
Well, I wasn't going over there.
You didn't like it, Mark?
I hated doing it from home.
You know why?
Well, it was hard.
There was no continuity.
And Suzanne put you tubing all the time.
Yeah. There was just no continuity. That was my issue.
Continuity? What do you mean by continuity?
I could never, anytime I started talking, you'd talk over me and vice versa. We had 3 delays going on. I had my delay, you had your delay, then we had a delay when we were talking. I hated it.
We liked it, right? Didn't we, Dan?
I liked some of it a lot, and then it got tiring.
Good food.
In other words, I think it got better.
First, they listen, then they laugh.
It got better.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I mean, it got worse. I mean, I liked it in the beginning.
303-867-7000. 867-7000. DealHomeowners.com.
I'm CBS News business analyst Bill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill.
World War II vet. Man, there's not many of those guys that left still.
Unlimited data.
That is for sure.
Yeah, you figure they were, if the war was in, let's say, 42, was when we got, basically January of 42, and they were 20 years old, so they were probably born in 1920.
Even give them 18.
Yes, they were born in 1920.
They're 100 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the last guy died from Pearl Harbor, right? I'm pretty sure.
The last survivor from Pearl Harbor.
Boy, that had to be a day. Holy shit.
You can listen to there's a podcast of old time, radio shows, and you can listen to them.
The actual call.
Yeah.
I bet you Japan ruse the day they bombed Pearl Harbor, though. Whoa.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. A quick programming note, K&H Home Solutions
today and tomorrow will do an extra 10% on top of anything they have going, including specials. You can add to it or take another 10% if you mention Martino, 303-421-7100. Now, What is your water filter question, Anthony? I'm going to try to get these in here quick. Holly, hold on. Holly, we have to do first. For a well, what is the best thing to do with a well rather than going back and forth? What's the best thing? Holly's on.
Holly, have us come on. Let's do a proper test to make sure that your equipment's set properly. If you have hardness and iron content, you definitely want to set your current system accordingly. You don't want to have too many pre-filters in for a well because you don't want resistance on a well that could damage your pump.
But do you need a special system for wells?
If you have a lot of iron content, a single tank system won't do it. That's why we recommend a dual tank water softener.
But you'll come out and look at her system for what?
Free of charge.
Free of charge. Holly, let's just do that.
Wow.
Let's just do that and see where it stands. Listen, this guy will not try to sell you something. He's not that type of person. He's just going to tell you what he thinks. Okay, now, quickly, Anthony, what is your question?
Bought a house in Greeley, and we were concerned about the water there. I'm a big fan of just drinking from the faucet. My wife likes purified and stuff. So I was wondering what your thoughts are for the Greeley area, if you've got any thoughts or if you would need to come out and test it.
No, we'd love to come out and test it because, you know, we can measure the total chlorine content and hardness and then give you a couple of recommendations based on that.
Okay.
All right, so good luck to you. Now, I don't think we have time for Dale, but we can always bring him back tomorrow if he needs to. Waterpros.net for Water Pros. We thank you for being here. Don't forget referralist.com for help, information, and referrals. And save all your problems for me.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. Michael Brown is next on Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Before the excruciating heat, why not upgrade to your new Carrier AC and furnace system with up to $2,000 in